Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Jaguars will win their second straight AFC South title with a road win against the Titans on Sunday. But Jacksonville quarterback Trevor Lawrence could be a game-time decision as he tries to come back from a right shoulder sprain. Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield will play Sunday against the Panthers. He took a hit to the ribs against the Saints in the last game. The Bucs clinched the NFC South title with a win. Michigan and Washington play for the national championship Monday night. Both teams 14-0. What could cause problems for the Wolverines? ESPN's Sam Acho.
Michael Penix Jr., not just last week, but all season long, has been evading pressure with his feet, slide to the left, slide to the right, and throwing it downfield. And so all of a sudden, okay, Michigan wins with pressure. No, they don't. Michael Penix Jr. evades. Michigan wins with their DBs. No, they don't. What if those receivers get open? Those are the things that'll make this matchup really intriguing.
Sam Acho on Carlin versus Joe. Megacast coverage of the national championship game on the ESPN family of networks and here on ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, is this really the last time we are going to see Bill Belichick coaching the Patriots? That can't be right. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Theriot, next hour, LSU coaching search update stuff. But we begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Okay, another day has brought another LSU Tiger hitting the portal. This time, I would argue... it is the most significant portal entry that LSU has had. That does come with a caveat, though. So I'll get to that caveat here in just a second. But the news is, as you probably have heard by now, that running back Logan Diggs is leaving LSU, entering the transfer portal. Diggs, we all know, prepped at Archbishop Rummel, went to Notre Dame under Brian Kelly. Kelly recruited Logan Diggs out of the portal to LSU. And Diggs was LSU's leader among running backs this year. So it stings because this is the guy that, if you remember in fall camp, LSU had 8 scholarship running backs, 8. And one of the questions all throughout fall camp was, what are you going to do with 8 running backs? Brian Kelly was asked about this, if you remember, during fall camp. This is what Kelly said when he was asked about all the glut of numbers and bodies in that running back room.
Look, we got one football. That hasn't changed. So, we'll figure it out as it goes. But my guess is that, it always ends up coming back to the guys with the most experience end up kind of rising to the top and taking it over.
The guys with the most experience that rise to the top and take it over. And in the end, of course, that was Logan Diggs, who was outpaced only by Jaden Daniels, who was not only the best rushing quarterback in the country, one of the best runners, period, in all of college football this year. But on the season, Logan Diggs led LSU running backs 119 attempts, 653 yards, averaged better than 5 yards a carry, 7 rushing touchdowns. He was basically second to Daniels in all of those stats. So you're talking about a guy that is a projectable NFL running back leaving your roster. Now, I told you that there was a little bit of a caveat about this being the most significant portal entry so far for LSU. I know some of you are going to say, man, Lance Hurd. And by now you probably should know my feelings on that. Lance Hurd was a backup and is projected to be a backup at LSU in 2024. Logan Diggs was your best running back. So I don't really care about the star ratings and what you think a projection is. What I'm talking about is on-field production. This guy was your best running back this year. That is inarguable. Line up all of your running backs. He was your best. Only Jaden Daniels had more carries. Only Jaden Daniels had more rushing yards. He averaged more yards per carry than anybody else. So, yeah, even Caleb Jackson averaged 5.3. Logan Diggs, 5.5. He had more touchdowns than anybody other than Jaden Daniels. This was your best running back of all your running backs. So, yes, it stings. But here's the caveat. The caveat is what we talked about when Caden Durham committed, what we talked about earlier this week when Harlem Berry committed. The caveat is you don't need 8 running backs. LSU didn't need 8 running backs this year. That was excessive. Now, it was circumstantial because Trey Bradford wanted to come back. Noah Cain could have left last year, wanted to come back, so he did. Josh Williams could have left, came back for a 5th year. So you had a lot of guys that could have left who came back. Trey Bradford came back into the program. Armani Goodwin was coming off of injury, and you signed 2 freshmen. So it was a weird circumstance where, like, everybody came back that could have. John Emery came back. Like, everybody that could have returned did. And then you added 2 freshmen. And, of course, Diggs out of the portal. So you had an inordinate amount of running backs with 8. Now, Emery's out of eligibility. Noah Cain's out of eligibility. Bradford and Goodwin have hit the portal. Diggs has hit the portal. So that's 5 of your 8 that are gone. Josh Williams has said he's likely to return for a 6th season, which I think is welcome. Team guy, good all-around back, can run it, can block, can catch it, all that stuff. Never going to be a superstar, not a draftable prospect, doesn't have huge NFL upside or anything. So if he wants to come back and give you some veteran depth at running back for another year, I'd welcome that from Josh Williams. Now, Caleb Jackson is going to be your RB1, barring something dramatically unforeseen. And Trey Holly at times this year showed flashes of why he's one of the best statistical running backs in the history of Louisiana high school football. And then you're bringing in Caden Durham. So when you look at Caleb Jackson, Trey Holly, Caden Durham, and you add on top of that Josh Williams returning, that's 4. Use one more, and maybe you go get one more out of the portal. We'll see, even if it's just for depth. But where you are now with those 4, you're still really good. It's not 8, but you didn't need 8. Look at how it worked out this year. After Jaden, among your running backs, Logan Diggs had 119 attempts. Josh Williams had 55. Noah Cain had 37. Caleb Jackson had 31. John Emery had 23. Trey Holly had 11. I mean, you can take those carries and consolidate them into 4 backs and be really good. And maybe that means one guy gets 150 carries. Maybe next year it's Caleb Jackson has 150 attempts and Trey Holly has 50 and Josh Williams has 75. Like, maybe that's how it breaks down. I don't know. But you got enough. And that's the caveat. While Logan Diggs is the most experienced player, the guy with the most skins on the wall of all the guys that have gone in the portal, you're still going to be okay at that position. You wish it had worked out longer term for Logan Diggs. And the other thing worth mentioning, and I don't know, the thing that surprised me more about Logan Diggs' announcement is not that he's leaving, but I would have thought he would have gone to the NFL instead of the portal. But you might, if you watched the bowl game on Monday, you saw that Logan Diggs didn't finish the game for LSU. That 98-yard touchdown drive, it was Josh Williams. Remember, you threw an incomplete pass on first down. You had 2nd and 10 from the 2. Josh Williams ripped off a 9-yard run. You had 3rd and 1, and Josh Williams gets hit behind the line, scoots forward for 2 yards, gets the first down, and then off you went. But what maybe you didn't see, but is making its rounds out there, this video we're going to show is courtesy of Jacques Doucet for those who are watching. I mean, it's a video of Logan Diggs leaving the field, and he's got a brace from the top of his thigh down past his knee, and his left leg is completely straight. And I've asked around, and it seems like the early returns, that's a pretty severe knee injury that Logan Diggs suffered in the ReliaQuest Bowl. I don't want to use the dreaded 3 letters until I know that definitively, but I think most people, when you see a guy like that with a knee injury, with a big brace like that, favoring it the way it is, I think we all assume this, like it's 2023, right? Or 2024 now. We all assume what it might be when you're talking about a knee and something like that. So, we'll wait and see. But ultimately, the fear is that it's a pretty significant knee injury. And so at what point, I guess my point is there's uncertainty there. At what point is Logan Diggs even healthy, to be able to contribute in 2024? Don't know. So a lot of questions there to answer around Logan Diggs, but he enters the portal. Tigers have had a lot of players enter the portal. I mean, when you run through the list of LSU players that have entered the transfer portal, it's getting pretty long, but it's also, when you run through the list and the names, you don't really look at anything until Logan Diggs and obviously Lance Hurd, where you really feel like you're losing out on a significant contributor. I mean, Diggs was your leading rusher, but Matt O'Dowd's in the portal, Lance Hurd, who we mentioned, Jalen Brown's a really good prospect, but didn't play this year. Denver Harris, Deuce Chestnut, Ty G. Hill, Fitzgerald West, Marlon Martinez got beat out by DJ Chester at center. Quincy Wiggins, tremendous upside, but what did you see him do in 2 years? Not much. He's going to Colorado. Jackson McGowan, buried in a deep tight end room. He's headed to Wisconsin. Then guys like Tavion Falk and George Hamsley are in the portal right now. LaTerrence Welch, Armani Goodwin, Trey Bradford, Bryce Langston. You see my point? It's a lot of names. It's a lot of bodies. It's a lot of maybe young depth, but it's not a lot of production. So until Logan Diggs went in the portal, you hadn't really lost that guy that had been a big producer for you. But the good news for LSU is it looks like they got plenty of bodies, talent, and experience there at running back to replace the loss of Logan Diggs, along with John Emery, Noah Cain, Trey Bradford, Armani Goodwin. 5 of the 8 running backs you had on scholarship this year won't be back with the Tigers in 2024. Okay, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana. Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. You're going to be in the Dome for the finale on Sunday against the Dirty Birds. You better get you some ice-cold Bud Light. Drink easy with the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, Bud Light. Shout out to our friends over at Mockler Beverage. Awesome community partner. Go to any charity event. Go to any social function, a school event, a fair, whatever it is. You're going to see those Mockler Beverages, Bud Light trucks everywhere because they support our local community and have for more than 40 years. It's Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with Mockler Beverage and the official beer of AFR, Bud Light. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out our first break of the show, y'all. When we come back, we'll get to the Saints injury report. There is some. I'll update you on the LSU coaching news as well. A lot of that coaching carousel has been spinning in the last 24 hours. So I'll update you on what I know. There's not a tremendous amount to say as of right now, but I'll update you on what I know. And we'll get to that as well when we return. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. You can always call him at 888-8888. That's 888-8888. Or go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. I love sharing the numbers, and sometimes that might be lost on people, but when you say it in total, it's pretty staggering. More than 10,000 Louisiana residents helped. More than $2.6 billion in damages recovered for their clients. That's the team at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. And Gordon has had so much success. He and the law firm, and he loves to give back. We talk about the NIL, the G team all the time, but it's so much more than that. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys have their charitable arm, Gordon Gives. You can always learn more about what they do and who they give to at GordonGives.com. Again, online at GordonGives.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed.
Time for myself.
We found our why.
Have you found yours?
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, Theriot will be with us here in about 45 minutes from right now. Looking forward to that. We'll get you Saints-Falcons pick before we get out of here in hour number 3. By the way, Muse, how about our guy, the Otter? I mean, do we press our luck and call him for a pick tonight?
I mean, I want to, but I don't think he's going to answer.
Yeah, maybe
Otter's
not.
got a bad track record of answering the phone on Fridays.
That's a good point. I mean, by the time their show ends at 1 o'clock, it feels like the old fashions are flowing, maybe the margaritas, and good luck getting a coherent Otter. But I'm gonna tell you what, whew, my goodness, Otter locks. Let's see. On Tuesday was our first day back, and on Tuesday he gave us. Here it was. He gave us Michigan. No, he gave us Wisconsin laying the 5. He came back on Wednesday and gave us Miami +2, Stanford +5, Nebraska -4. So he did 4 in a row in college basketball. Yesterday gave us a 3-pack. Arizona laying 12.5 seemed like a big number. All they did was win by 47. Mm-hmm. I mean, rocking chair cover. He gave us Michigan State, another big number there, Muse, laying 13.5. All they did was win by 31. Rocking chair. Now, he did give us Michigan laying the 5, and Michigan ended up losing to Minnesota. But if my math is right, and my math is not very good, Muse. I'm bad at math. 6-1.
It's pretty darn good.
6-1 in 3 days of college basketball plays.
How about that?
6-1. +5 units. College basketball. 3 days. Yeah. Okay. And then Muse, I don't know if we should talk about it on air because we didn't give it out on air, but you and I had a nice little play as well.
We did. It came through.
How about Wemby?
Man, he's throwing lobs to himself off the backboard last night.
DraftKings had a 100% boost last night, so Muse and I were like, we got to bet on something. Yeah. We got to use this boost.
2 games.
So I looked it up, and I was like, Wemby, 18.5, 3 straight games has been over 20. Big primetime spot on TNT against the Bucks. Giannis, he's going to show up and show out. He did. 27 points. Rocking chair cover there as well, Muse.
Bingo.
Your boy gave you one. How about it? I mean, what a night. What a week it's been.
It was good.
I can't wait to blow all of it with one very aggressive bet.
Yeah.
To try to get back something after a loss.
That's what the NFL's for this weekend.
Well, Jimmy Ott's football Sunday.
That's true.
Better believe that, right? It is after further. Or you know what I could do? I could take that money. I could spend it on a beautiful piece of jewelry at Lee Michaels. I had a great meeting today over at Lee Michaels. Got to talk to Scott Berg. You hear us talk about all the time. Amy over there as well, who handles all their marketing. Lee Michaels, amazing people. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 10 locations in all. I found out today at our meeting that they just recently opened up their 3rd San Antonio location, so it's their 10th total. So 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, Mississippi, 3 in San Antonio. They have a location in Albuquerque, New Mexico as well. How about that? 10 locations in all for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Another sort of piece of education I got today. I didn't realize how many jewelers are selling man-made diamonds. If you're going to buy a diamond, make sure you ask. Lee Michaels, listen, Scott goes every year to India, and he buys diamonds for 10 stores out of mines in India, so they have great relationships. And so they get the best diamonds, the best price, which they pass along to you. You never have to worry about that when you walk into a Lee Michaels. You are getting a true diamond out of a mine. You are not getting a man-made diamond. You have to ask about that. You want something that is authentic and brilliant and beautiful and will hold value. It's a beautiful diamond, something that you're going to pass along to your children and future generations. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, let's. Saints are going to play the Falcons on Sunday. We will get into a prediction coming up a bit later, but there's one really big newsworthy item right now with respect to the game, and that's what's going to happen with Taylor Heineke. The injury report is out, and Taylor Heineke has been limited all week, and he is officially on the Friday injury report listed as questionable for the game against the Saints. So quarterback Taylor Heineke is questionable. Defensive end Zach Harrison also questionable, along with cornerback Mike Hughes. 3 players are out for the Atlanta Falcons. Linebacker Troy Anderson, safety DeMarco Helms, and Muse also out for the Atlanta Falcons. Center Drew Dahlman. I'm just going to say, it's the old Mike D line. And I didn't intend for the first half of this segment to become all betting content, but for a decade, Mike Detillier came on this show every single Thursday. And one of the old betting angles that he and Buddy D had were when a team loses its starting center, they fail to cover some 80% of the time the week they lose their starting center. And center Drew Dahlman out with an ankle injury. I'm just saying, I'm feeling really good about the Saints on Sunday. That is a bit irrational of me, isn't it? Isn't it? That is irrational.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I was like, did you find your really big bet there? Is it the Saints now that the center's out for the Falcons?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, come back at 5:30 or 5:40 when I make my prediction. I'm picking the Saints to win and to cover. What's the line? Is it 3?
2.5 is what I saw earlier.
I'm picking the Saints to win and cover. That is an auto play for me. I don't need to look at anything else. I don't care about Derek Carr's inconsistency. I don't care about Mickey Loomis comparing Derek Carr to Drew Brees. I don't care about any of the other foolishness that's transpired this week. I am literally just looking at that one piece of information that the Falcons are going to be without their center this week. And as a result of that, they might be without their quarterback. They might be going back to Desmond Ridder. But I am less intrigued, Muse, by if it's Ridder or Heineke than I am about Drew Dahlman missing the game this week.
Okay, wow.
How about that?
Yeah. Look, 80% 80%. That's a big number. It's hard to argue with that.
It's a big number. As for the Saints, 2 players are out. Not a surprise. Lonnie Johnson's out. Landon Young is out. We talked about yesterday the Saints adding Cody Gossert, the offensive lineman formerly of the Atlanta Falcons, and this makes sense. Look, if just you're following it along, for those that might have missed it prior, Ryan Ramczyk is out. We know that he's on IR. He's had the knee injury, and it might cost him his career. That's going to be a giant talking point storyline this offseason. But with Ryan Ramczyk out, Landon Young had been starting at right tackle. Landon Young was injured against Tampa, and Cameron Irving went in to replace him. Well, with Cameron Irving going to replace him, he'll likely start this week at right tackle. Then what do you do? Who essentially replaces Cam Irving as the backup to give you a rotational piece? Well, that was Cody Gossert, who they signed this week. So not a surprise that Landon Young is out when you saw the Saints add the offensive lineman earlier this week. There's 3, 4, 5. There are 7 players that are officially listed as questionable. Juwan Johnson, Alvin Kamara with the ankle injury, Colin Saunders, Kendre Miller, A.T. Perry, Peyton Turner, and J.T. Gray, all questionable for Sunday's game. Week 18, Saints have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. They got to get some help as well, but it's moot if you don't win. But, hey, man, if Eric McCoy's out there for the Saints and Drew Dahlman's not out there for Atlanta, Muse, you know where I'm loading up my bets this week. My number 1 play of the week. Give me the Saints, laying the 2.5. I'm not even joking, by the way. You can laugh if you want. I'm really not joking.
It's up to 3 now. You still like it at 3?
It could be 30.
Okay.
Don't care. Laying the points with the Saints. You think I'm going against Mike D? Come on. Who dat? All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. I do want to come back a bit later in the show to some comments that Mickey Loomis made on his interview earlier this week on WWL. Because those comments have gotten a lot of attention in the Twitter sphere today. And we talked earlier in the week about some of the comments that Dennis Allen made on his coach's show. We did not talk about the comments Mickey Loomis made in his weekly radio appearance. But essentially he compared Derek Carr's first year to Drew Brees' first year in New Orleans. And that's lunacy, and a lot of people are pointing it out, and as they are right to point out how ridiculous that is. But we'll talk about it coming up in the next hour. This is just as we're on the point of the Saints-Falcons, one other interesting tidbit. Mel Kiper was on ESPN Radio, Carlin and Joe, earlier today. And Kiper gave a very interesting, and this is relevant, obviously, because anything that affects the NFC South affects the Saints by just by virtue of the fact that they're in the same division, clearly. And Mel Kiper had a very interesting hypothesis about the future of the quarterback position for the Atlanta Falcons.
I think Atlanta's at the top of the list for me. It has been for a couple months when we talked about Justin being traded. Atlanta's where he was, about high school. Think about going to Georgia before he went to Ohio State. They don't have a quarterback. They're in a division where, it's wide open now. I mean, Baker's there. Bryce Young, we'll see how he develops. You hope he's a franchise quarterback. He held up physically despite getting pounded with all those sacks. Think about New Orleans with Carr and where they're going to be. And then you have your team trying to figure it out. So, again, if you get the right guy, you can do a heck of a job. And you got to get that right guy. They didn't have it with Desmond Ridder. They don't have it with Heineke. They got to get that guy. And if they think Justin Fields is better than a Michael Penix Jr. would be or a J.J. McCarthy would be, because where they're picking, they're not going to get the top 3.
So Atlanta is essentially saying you're not going to be picking at the top of this draft to take one of the best quarterbacks. Maybe your option is bring Justin Fields back to Georgia. And it would make sense if you're the Bears. If the Bears want to draft Caleb Williams at number 1 overall, remember the Bears have the Panthers pick. So the Bears are picking number 1. If they're done with Justin Fields and they would like to draft Caleb Williams as their franchise, then what do you do with Justin Fields? Could the Atlanta Falcons be a possibility? Fields has played well over the last month. I understand over his time in Chicago it hasn't been great. Now there's been coaching turnover. You could argue that the staff there prior it just didn't really jive with what Justin Fields, what his skill set is. And maybe with the way they played over this last month with Matt Eberflus, they're coming into their own a bit. But if you're the Bears and you have an opportunity to take another swing at a guy you think could be a generational talent, you probably do it. Then what do you do with Fields? Atlanta could be interesting. For what it's worth, of course, Desmond Ridder still on that rookie contract as a third-round pick out of Cincinnati, so he'll be going into year 3 next year. And his salary number is $985K. I mean, it's the benefit of drafting a starting quarterback when they're on a rookie deal, it's going to make everything you do easier within your salary cap because of having your franchise on a rookie deal. So Desmond Ridder maybe hasn't worked out as they hoped. Do they make a move for Justin Fields? Something we'll keep an eye out on throughout the remainder of this offseason. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're with us. We're not going to break. Come back. We'll go around the SEC, and as promised, I'll get you up to date with what I know about the latest on all the LSU coaching stuff. So not a ton to tell, but I'll catch you up when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in, carry out, or delivery with 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Ice cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Hey, look, you got 2 NFL games on Saturday, a full slate on Sunday, including Sunday Night Football. So if you need a place to set up shop, park it all day, and watch ball, you only got a few of these left, man. It's week 18, then you're into the playoffs. This is your last weekend of the regular season just to watch wall-to-wall football all day long. Make sure you do it at Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. Remember, at Pluckers, you can eat award-winning jumbo chicken wings or find whatever your favorite flavor is. If maybe you want boneless wings, they got them. Maybe you want sandwiches. The Larry Bird's a great one. It's a white meat breast. It's tossed in your favorite wing sauce, a sandwich with all the sides. You can find it there at Pluckers, either location. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dining, carry-out, or delivery at Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokee, $10,000 off new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and all new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
I'll go around the SEC in just a quick second. We've been talking about the LSU football defensive staff changes and searches here since Tuesday when the hammer dropped, or I guess on Wednesday, when the hammer dropped and LSU fired 4 assistant coaches on the defensive side, starting with Matt House, as we know, both secondary coaches, Robert Steeples and Kerry Cooks, and the defensive line coach, Jimmy Lindsey, who that's just such an unfortunate situation with Jimmy Lindsey, who never had an opportunity even to coach the position during his time at LSU. And while I fully expected that LSU was going to hire a new defensive line coach, I thought it would stand to reason they would retain Jimmy Lindsey maybe as an analyst because of what transpired with his medical condition. But as I understand it, late in the season, when he returned, he was essentially filling an analyst role anyway. He was working on scouting the opponents and doing game study, film watch. So he was in the building. He was there physically at every practice for the bowl game. So that was one where I'd certainly thought that Jimmy Lindsey would remain on staff in an analyst role, and they would bring in a defensive line coach. A couple of things. The defensive line coach name that was most prominently mentioned has been as Bo Davis, and those conversations were very real with Bo Davis. And I was told this morning that they had cooled. I'll read the exact word that I was told. That it fading is what I was told this morning. That the Bo Davis conversations were fading. At Football Scoop has a report right now. Zach Barnett over at Football Scoop. He reports that sources told Football Scoop LSU would place nabbing Davis as an equal or greater priority to hiring a new defensive coordinator, but Davis reportedly expected to spurn LSU and remain at Texas. So that's Football Scoop. I mean, when it comes to football coaching news, they're at or near the top of the most respected sources. The Bo Davis conversation, LSU is very earnest in pursuing Bo Davis. Bo had been at LSU prior under Nick Saban from 02 to 05, so he's here for Nick, and then with the first year of Les, he's a Pete Jenkins guy. Of course, Pete was on staff this year, and no doubt Coach Pete put in calls and was pushing hard to get Bo Davis. But Bo is so well known with Frank Wilson and Verge Osbury, and so many people have been around the LSU football program for so long, and they pushed hard. But like we said from the beginning, the real big hang-up, there were two really big hurdles they were going to have to overcome with Bo Davis. One was the money. Bo was making $1 million a year at Texas and was reportedly asking for $1.5 million to come to LSU. Were you willing to pay your defensive line coach $1.5 million? It's a gigantic hurdle. And it's not to say you can't afford $500,000. It's more about the precedent you set. Are you going to pay your defensive line coach $1.5 million and then have Cortez Hankton go, what about me? Joe Sloan, who just coached the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, go, what about me? Frank Wilson, who's your recruiting coordinator, running backs coach, go, what about me? It's a precedent you set if you're going to pay a position coach $1.5 million. That was one. It was also told the buyout, on top of that in Bo's contract was big. And then there was also a family consideration. Bo Davis's son, Bo, spelled differently. Bo Davis, the coach, is B-O. Bo Davis's son is B-E-A-U. Is a defensive lineman at Southeastern. And I think there was interest, if not altogether a strong desire by Bo Davis to coach his son. And I don't know, and candidly, I don't know that LSU was looking to bring Bo Davis onto the roster. I don't mean to make it a family thing, but that was a consideration that was brought up as well. Bo could have been closer to his son at Southeastern, who's playing at Southeastern, but at the same time, if he wanted the opportunity to coach his son, this might have been an opportunity to use a situation where LSU's courting you. Can you make that happen? Maybe that didn't come through. There were a lot of moving parts here, and there were some significant hurdles, which is why it was always in play. And we've talked about it being in play in Football Scoop, and I think 247 had it as well. And the Bo Davis stuff, this conversation has been a very real conversation, but there were very real hurdles. And the money was a significant one, and there were family considerations as well. And as of now, as I was told earlier today, it's fading, and Football Scoop reporting that it certainly appears as though Bo Davis is going to stay at Texas. Corey Raymond still very much in play. And as I always say when we talk about coaching searches, until the ink is dry, The press release is out, and the coach is at the podium. It is never done because we have seen things that appear done fall apart. Even coaches be introduced and then renege for whatever reason. But I would anticipate the Corey Raymond news does get done, and Corey's back on staff. As for defensive coordinator, which a lot of people want to know about, of course, Blake Baker emerged as the primary target for LSU. Those conversations got very real and earnest last night. I was told late last evening that Eli Drinkwitz was meeting with Blake Baker, trying to convince him to stay at Missouri, and Baker wanted to sleep on it, and we'll expect a decision whenever he makes a decision, if he's going to take the LSU job or stay in Columbia. But a lot of people have asked, and I think it's fair to ask, why, and I asked this question, why would Blake Baker leave Mizzou? It's a very fair question. He makes good money. They just gave him a raise. He's got incredible job security. They just won 11 games. They want to build him a friggin' statue. You win 11 games in Columbia. LSU won 10 games and fired half the defensive staff. So there's a lot of reasons for him to stay at Mizzou. The reasons he might consider LSU in no particular, because what I was told is the money would be equal, or relatively the same with Missouri and LSU. Family is one. Blake Baker's wife is from Mandeville. She went to Fontainebleau and then played soccer she was an all-SEC soccer player at LSU. You might remember that when Blake was here as a linebackers coach. So close to family. His wife played at LSU. There's a connection there. There's a family connection there for Blake Baker. You can win a national championship at LSU. You can't win a national championship at Missouri. So that's another factor. And then, third would be if Blake Baker's desire is to become a head coach. If you come to Baton Rouge and fix the LSU defense, you will be on everybody's short list to be a head coach. As bad as the LSU defense was this year, really only one way you can go. You know what I mean? Like when you're triple digits in every statistical category, you could turn that thing around pretty quickly. And if you're 50% better, you're still dramatically better than you were last year, and you don't even have to be a great defense. So there's tremendous room for the LSU defense to improve, Baker to get credit for it, and if he does that, it puts him on a fast track to become a head coach. So that's why he would consider LSU. That's why it would make sense if Blake Baker picked LSU. But as I understand, I think he's really conflicted for the reasons we said. The money's about equal. They just moved their family there a couple of years ago to Columbia. He's had success there. They should have a good team coming back. Do you pick up and move again? I don't know. So we'll wait and see what the decision is. But LSU, I think 247 had it first, where LSU had zeroed in on Blake Baker. That certainly seems to be the case, and we'll wait on a decision from Baker to see if he picks LSU, if he decides to stay there in Como. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. That's SouthPointVW.com, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. If you are in the market for a new vehicle, or might be, as we start this new year, go see our friends at South Point Volkswagen. I was amazed when we were there last week. A week ago today, we went and picked up Erica's new car. She traded in her 2019 Atlas for a 2024 Atlas and loves it. And the inventory is fantastic. She wanted a very specific car. She wanted white with captain's chairs in the middle instead of the bench, and she wanted the tan leather interior. And I even told her, I said, babe, there's no reason for us to go to the lot. Like, let me just call them. We'll order it, and when it gets here, we'll go pick it up. But she wanted to go look, test drive, whatever, and I'll be darned, they had one on the lot, that exact car. They have inventory. Go check them out at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? We got to do Around the SEC, but Muse, let me do this so we stay on time. I want to break. We'll come back and do Around the SEC in the next segment. Theriot in 17 minutes from right now, and we'll get to some of your texts and emails and tweets and all that stuff, so feel free to get it in. If you want to text us, you can, the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Feel free to do it. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, remember, Tuesday is the next evenings at the Renaissance over at Tallulah. Tallulah is the restaurant inside of the Renaissance Hotel that you've heard me talk about for about a year now. Tallulah was one of the best kept secrets in town. Not no more. We have been singing their praises, and the word is out. And if you want to go to Tallulah on a weekend, I would highly recommend getting a reservation. But Evenings at Renaissance, returning with their next installment this coming Tuesday, where you can discover the magic of Sugarfield Spirits. Starts at 6:30 on January 9th. That's this coming Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. There'll be cocktail demonstrations with Sugarfield Spirits. Guests will have the opportunity to taste 3 different cocktails. Their Bee's Knees, the Classic Martini, and the Honey Badger. For ticket information, go to TallulahRestaurant.com. Again, TallulahRestaurant.com. It's Evenings at the Renaissance. Tallulah, inside the Renaissance Hotel.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Wrapping up hour number 1, Theriot will be in studio here in 12 minutes from right now. You can always email us or tweet us or text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. I'll get to some of your questions that are coming in via text, email, Twitter, all that stuff here in just a second. Right now, Muse, hit around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Auburn Tigers.
All right, so Hugh Freeze and Auburn, they have announced that they have fired offensive coordinator Philip Montgomery. Auburn finished 90th nationally in total offense, 71st nationally in scoring offense, and 11 out of 14 in the SEC. Montgomery was hired to take over the offense in year 1. He was previously the head coach at Tulsa.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Tide running back Roydell Williams, well, he's in the portal. 4 seasons in Tuscaloosa, over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. 4-star prospect at high school, 1 year of eligibility remaining.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Really good news for Kirby Smart in Athens. A pair of linemen announced their decisions to return for the 2024 season. One on the offensive line, one on the defensive line. Tate Ratledge on the offensive line is back for a 4th season. All-SEC honors and second-team All-American from the AP in 2023. Has started the last 2 seasons at right guard. And then Nazir Stackhouse on the defensive line announced he's also returning. Second-team All-SEC after starting every game for the Bulldogs in 2023. Looking at 24 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception for Nazir Stackhouse.
The Missouri Tigers.
Mizzou's offense got a big boost. Theo Weiss, wide receiver, he's returning for his final year of eligibility. 682 yards and 6 touchdowns this season. That means both Weiss and Luther Burden back for another year in Como.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Nope.
The Florida Gators.
You pushed the wrong button when you're doing around
did.
the SEC.
How about that?
I mean, you screwed up your own around the SEC.
That's because, Matt, Devon Manuel is a former offensive lineman from Arkansas. He committed to Florida today out of the transfer portal.
Awesome.
Announced that decision on X. 6'9", 300 pounds. 3 seasons in Fayetteville. Redshirt sophomore, so he'll have some time remaining. 10 contests with the Hawks is what he appeared in. Louisiana native to boot as well. And finally,
the Ole Miss Rebels.
Ladarius Tennyson,
Who they got
defensive
now?
back.
Who they got now?
Oh, no, they're losing one.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Defensive back Ladarius Tennyson. He's going to enter the portal. It's a safety. If you want to be even more specific, announced his decision on Twitter. Spent the last 2 seasons in Ole Miss. That was after starting his career in Auburn. 45 games in all on the Plains and in the SIP. So someone's getting a pretty experienced player. That is around the SEC.
We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. If you're looking to buy tires, why would you go anywhere other than the place where they'll sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible? That is Shawbills, where you always get the Charlie's Dozen. That's a dozen benefits when you buy your tires at Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. A dozen benefits like free tire rotations, free balancing, alignment, free tire repairs. You got to learn more. At Shawbills, they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, but the reason you keep coming back year after year, generation after generation for more than 50 years is because at Shawbills, they treat you like family. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. LSU, 2 things. LSU basketball. Oh, it is funny, the Ole Miss story. So there's a general Ole Miss melt about Judkins going in the portal and the defensive back going in the portal today. And I do find the hypocrisy amusing. By the way, this isn't just about Ole Miss. This is about you too. And I don't care who your team is. Whoever your team is, this is about your team too. How there's this general fan sentiment. This isn't everybody, because again, I said it's a general fan sentiment that bemoans players that go into the portal. You criticize players that go into the portal. They're not loyal. You hate it. It's free agency. College sports. What's it becoming? Blah, 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 bloop. But then when you get a player out of the portal, man, are you doing backflips? Yeah, we got us one. It's hypocrisy at its best or worst. But either way, I wanted all that to say, I wanted to highlight this because if you were here yesterday, we talked about NIL. And if you missed it, it was the start of hour 3 of yesterday's show. I would recommend anybody go listen to it. I gave you some context on NIL, and The Athletic did a really good piece where they anonymously asked players in the Under Armour All-American game about NIL. Did they take the best NIL deal to commit? And so it was basically a dozen or so of the best high school prospects in the country answering questions about NIL, and all but one said they did not take the best NIL deal, that it wasn't the thing they were considering. And I think it's just an interesting glimpse into the perspective of sometimes how reality doesn't always jive with perception. Keelan Moses, I think, gave us a great illustration of this. Keelan Moses is committed to LSU's class of 2025, and he's one of the best players in the country. Of course, he's local. Keelan Moses tweeted a thread last night. I want to read it to you. Once I committed, my promise to Coach Brian Kelly was to be the leader of my class and bring in the top guys behind me. I told him specifically that this will be his special class, and I'll be his right-hand man through it all. I explained that not only does he have a ball player, but a young man who's willing to give his all to this team, not only for his love of the game, but for his love of this team specifically. Being a Tiger means everything to me, and like I told Coach BK, I'm willing to do anything to bring LSU its swagger back. These upcoming years will be special. Believe me, there will be more bullets in the chamber. This is only the beginning, and I'm ready to be a part of a national championship caliber team. Hashtag Go Tigers. Again, a thread from Keelan Moses last night on Twitter, X. And for those that bemoan the current state of college football, about how it's free agency or whatever, and you hate it, and you hate what college football is becoming. By the way, more than 20 million people watch the Rose Bowl, so you don't hate it enough to not watch that game or this playoff. I think there are more Keelan Moseses out there than you think. They just don't get the headlines. There are more Mekhi Wingos who come back from injury to play in the bowl game. They just don't get the headlines like the players that choose to opt out or the big headline NIL deal that we hear about. There's plenty of Keelan Moseses. There's plenty of great players still in college football that deserve to be highlighted. Kudos, Keelan Moses. Okay, it's after further review. Sports Center's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. Theriot in studio next.
AFR.
Mold Zero is now Pure Restoration. Pure-restoration.com. Pure-restoration.com. Storming rain today all over South Louisiana. If you got rain in your house, in your office building, whatever it may be, leaks, that's probably leading to mold. We live in the mold capital of the world. It is wet and it is humid down here. That's a breeding ground for mold. If you have mold, Pure Restoration can help. They have a patented non-toxic dry fog treatment, meaning nobody else has this. When it comes to mold remediation, nobody is better than Pure Restoration because they are more cost-effective and they're more efficient. You want to have your home rid of mold? They can do it in half a day. Come in the morning, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. You don't have to empty your house, plants, furniture. No. You're not cutting sheetrock, pulling up carpet. Just call Pure Restoration. Go online, pure-restoration.com to learn more. Pure-restoration.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence could be a game-time decision for Sunday against the Titans. Lawrence is still battling a right shoulder sprain. The Jaguars clinched their second straight AFC South title with a win. The 49ers are the top seed in the NFC. What's the one weakness that could keep them from making a deep playoff run? ESPN's Bill Barnwell says interceptions.
Brock Purdy's been an MVP candidate for most of the year. In their 12 wins, he's been basically flawless. Just 2 interceptions in those 12 wins. But in the 4 losses, 9 picks. And you cannot get away with that.
Bill Barnwell. The last regular season weekend kicks off tomorrow with a doubleheader on ESPN and ABC. Starting at 4:30 Eastern, the Ravens and Steelers in Baltimore, the Colts and the Texans. A baseball trade today. The Giants get former Cy Young winner Robbie Ray in a deal with the Mariners. Seattle gets outfielder Mitch Haniger and right-hander Anthony DeSclafani.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, is this really the last time we are going to see Bill Belichick coaching the Patriots? That can't be right. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot. Presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette. And online at alphacustoms.net.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
I have a good idea. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wake pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot rounds third. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe. Tigers win. Tigers win. Go.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You said. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Yeah, bro. Happy New Year.
New Year to you.
Yeah, man. High five.
We did it.
We did it. We made it to 2024.
We're here.
One of the last things I did in 2023 was take a ride on your with Drew on Ryan's big golf cart.
Big golf cart.
We went out to your hunting property. People asked if I went and shot anything out there. Helped you put out your deer feed and
we put some BBD out. We did it. We sprinkled the woods with BBD, and
we
then we
did.
just see what came.
Oh, man.
Big buck draw, BBD. That's what it's called. This stuff's called.
Got it.
Big
Yep.
buck.
No, yeah.
Big buck.
Right. Big bag. It came in a big
bag,
sack.
Big buck draw, BBD, boy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The does love the BBD.
Do they?
They do.
What
They eat it up.
What about the bucks? Just some of them?
Just
some of them?
Some of
Just
them.
some of the bucks eat the BBD?
Yeah.
But mostly the does eat the BBD.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
They gobble it up.
Yeah, gobble it up.
That they do. Big year 2024. Doing a lot of
It's so stupid.
a lot of flexing in 20. I think it's going to be a good year.
That's a nice watch.
Yeah, bro. Look at that. It's just a little something that I picked up for Christmas. Just a little Christmas gift. Paulie, zoom in on this guy. Let me see if you can get a little zoom piece on this. Yeah. There we go. Look at that beauty.
This
Check it out.
is.
Can you get any
there it
closer?
is.
If you can, you'll be able to see the letters. That's a Rolex.
That is not a Rolex.
That's a Rolex.
That is the watch.
My bad.
That is the watch that Mr. Theriot had me go search in Chinatown for my last day in New York, hunting for somebody who would nefariously scoop me under some scaffolding, open his quad fold laminated sheet to pick out the fake Rolex that Theriot wanted.
It's so good. I need like 6 links taken out. I mean, this is like a Rolex for Shrek. I don't know. Look how big this thing is, dude. It's huge.
My friend who played nearly a decade of Major League Baseball, got that big league money, is my friend who had me searching the streets of Chinatown in New York City for a fake Rolex.
That's right, bro. Hey, man, look, you got to be frugal with your money.
No, I get it. I get it. It's great. Other than the Rolex, which is fantastic. How's your day going?
Day's been good. Real busy day. The new year was ushered in. It was a great New Year's Eve for the Theriot family. Got to just kind of hang out, shoot some fireworks and all that stuff, and then like we always do. Just excited about the 2024 year. A lot of good stuff coming. So really fired up.
Yeah.
But there was one thing, post-Christmas going into the new year that's talked about quite a bit that gets on my nerves every year. And this year I would like to talk a little bit about it. I don't think I ever have, but this year I will.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Do that. So here goes.
Okay.
First letter of 2024.
Here we go.
Here it is. Dear New Year's resolution people. So that's anybody that does New Year's resolutions.
Got it.
Every year it's the same crap with you people. Starting January 1st, I'm gonna or I'm not gonna do something. That happens every year.
Yeah, it does.
I'd like to talk today a little bit about some of the more popular New Year's resolutions and why that crap ain't gonna work because y'all are all lazy and dumb. Y'all are lazy, dumb, procrastinating slobs, and the new year won't change your loser habits, period. Okay, here we go. This is kind of general, but working out is always at the top of the list for most people.
Yeah, get healthy.
I'm going to lump the diet or eat better into that category as
Just
well.
the healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
Eat better, lose weight, work out, all that stuff.
Kind of all the same.
Got it. All the same. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, first off, you can't trick genetics.
I know that.
If your mom's chunky and your dad's chunky, then you're going to be chunky. There's no amount of semaglutide that'll change that.
By the way, you can get a semaglutide at the Aesthetic Medicine Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, and it does work, by the way. You're wrong about that.
Ozempic does not fix chunky.
It does.
Sure, you may lose a ton of weight by starving yourself and getting a weekly shot, but eventually, one of two things is going to happen. Your eternal organs will shut down because you've pushed them to the limit.
I'm sorry, did you say eternal?
Internal.
Oh, you're internal. I thought he said eternal, didn't he?
Your internal organs will shut down because you've pushed them to the limit, and you'll die.
Oh, no, don't say that.
If your internal organs shut down, you can't live.
That's true.
Okay.
And that will happen to every human eventually in their life.
It will.
Or you're going to go the opposite way and you're going to be worse off than you started. I don't care how many miles you run, how much weight you lift, or calories you burn. Your physical makeup is what it is. Your girthy bones and thick skin is not going to go away all of a sudden because you joined the neighborhood CrossFit gym and bought the stupid knee braces and socks like all the weirdos like to wear that do CrossFit.
Look at it. Thanks, Papa Scone.
That's right.
There's my girth right there.
There's your girth.
Got him.
You ever notice how much fun the people in the Peloton commercials look like they're having?
Yes.
They're having a blast. They're all in shape, good looking, screaming, loud, talking. They're having fun because they're in shape. Okay? Riding the Peloton is easy for them. You guys are going to go out. I'm sure many already have done this for their New Year's resolution. They spent $3,000 on a Peloton. You bought the stupid biker shoes that they make you buy.
You did that last year.
You pay a $44 a month membership.
Yep, did it last year. I did.
You ride the thing for a week because it's your New Year's resolution.
I did it for 6 months. Hurt my back.
Then you put it up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this, but apparently save more money is a thing when it comes to New Year's resolutions. Pretty damn lazy. How about this? Make more money in 2024.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's a problem with some of y'all. You don't know how to make things happen. You don't know.
By the way, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. I just made a little more money there. Call us at Hudco. Let's, buy a roof from us.
That's right. Now, that'd be good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to spend more money in 2024. That's my thing. That's my New Year's resolution. Actually, it's not because I don't do that. I don't want to make more. I don't want to save more. I want to make more. I want my American Express to be maxed out every month. That means I'm on the grind. I'm spending money. And then it puts some pressure on me. It makes me do something. Cause and effect. I want it. I want the good stuff.
I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to buy dumb stuff.
I want to spend it.
Well, that's fine.
Then I got to make it.
Don't buy dumb stuff.
Go make it.
That's irresponsible.
Buy a fake one. Why would you buy a real one when you can buy a fake one?
That's a great point.
I mean, this is it. If you have to make it your New Year's resolution to spend more time with your family or do random acts of kindness, because I saw those two when I did my research here, show prep, then there's something wrong with you there's something wrong with you that the new year or a resolution will not fix. And for that, I would recommend a consultation with Father Alella. He can help you. He's my guy. He's really good. The read more books in 2024, people. Or read a book a month. You guys need to grow the hell up. I've seen this one quite a bit. Actually saw one of my buddies that said, my goal is to read a book a month in 2024. We have tablets, people. We have computers.
Well, it's the same thing.
We have computers on your phones.
Doesn't matter if you read a hard copy of a book, if you're reading it digitally, it's the same principle.
We have audiobooks. We have all sorts of ways you can entertain yourself and get some knowledge.
Some people like to read.
Going to Barnes & Noble,
then
smelling like lemongrass and cats for the rest of the day is not a good thing. Okay? If you spend a lot of time in Barnes & Noble, yes, you're going to smell like lemongrass and cats after that visit.
Okay.
Quit drinking in 2024. Works for a little while. Then the wheels fall off come Mardi Gras. 100% going to happen. The drink less people inevitably have one too many, and then they're right back where it started. Those two never work. They never work. Don't even try that one. I've never had a New Year's resolution. I never will. I'm all for personal growth and improvement. But if you're waiting for the new year to achieve that personal growth and improvement, then it's something that'll never happen. Sincerely, Ryan.
Speaking of making more money, Elon just broke me off, bro. Just got a notification from Twitter X that I got paid.
What?
Well, they do rev share now.
What?
If you have a certain number of followers or whatever, you get rev share for if they run ads in your feed, sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much did you get?
Your boy just made $24.62. Hit me with that cash register,
Pay the man.
Come on now.
Pay the man.
How about that? I'm retiring early. It's AFR. We'll continue.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. You know what tomorrow is?
What's that?
No, what's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Yeah.
What is Saturday?
Saturday is the day of rest.
It's the weekend. No, it's the weekend.
I don't know. What is it? Okay.
It's the weekend, man. It's the weekend.
The weekend.
But you know what? Sometimes your heater at your home, it goes out on the weekend.
Okay.
So what are you going to do? Yeah. Sit there and freeze? No.
I mean, or you make a fire.
What if you don't have a fireplace?
You could take your clothes off and hug somebody.
Why would you take your clothes off?
Body heat.
Put more clothes on.
No. You get
body heat.
You
Got
get
it.
naked.
I got a
and you
better
hug
idea.
someone.
I got a better idea.
Okay.
Call River City's 1 Hour Air. You want to know why? They work nights, holidays, weekends. They never charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, or weekends. So call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
I have a gift for you.
Another?
Well, it's not from me. It's from Rooney Hemel over at Sunshine. You said a long time ago that you wanted a tractor.
I want a tractor.
When I started endorsing Sunshine, you said you wanted a tractor.
Very jealous about that endorsement deal that you got. I wish I was a part of it, but yeah.
So Rooney decided to give you a tractor. There it is. Singing Old MacDonald. How about that? He gave you a tractor.
It's really nice of Rooney. I love it. I actually like it. I really like the tractor.
And he gave you a John Deere hat.
And the hat.
And the hat.
Okay.
Now, that's classic John Deere hat right there.
No, this is good. I love the hat. The tractor's great. This wasn't quite the tractor I had in mind.
He gave you a John Deere. Is that not a John Deere tractor? Is that not a green John Deere tractor?
It's a green John Deere tractor.
That is a green John Deere tractor.
No,
He's a man of honesty and integrity. And you wanted a green John Deere tractor, and Rooney Email gave you a green John Deere tractor. There it is right there.
Can we talk about the monstrosity that Sunshine's building right there off the interstate?
Where?
They're building like a new facility. Is that Sunshine?
Where?
Like right before you get to Highland?
Yeah, maybe you should clear these things before you just blurt them out on air, because I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I saw the sign.
Well, maybe you should clear these things with me before you just blurt them out on air.
I don't know. I thought you might know.
You know what? If you do that again, you can kick rocks. Ooh. You can. How about that?
It's time to Kick Rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick Rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick Rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge. Or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick Rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
All right, I got a couple, and then I have a hug.
Okay.
The double transfer thing, I think, can kick rocks.
Oh, kick rocks.
I don't like the double transfer.
Why?
I like the transfer. I like the transfer thing. I think that's good. I don't like the double transfer.
Why not?
Or the triple transfer.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't like them wearing different uniforms like that much. I think it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. It's something about the okay, now he's going to go to another school. When he's got another year, he's going to go to another school. I don't know.
And why is that a problem?
Just don't like it.
See,
I don't like it.
For years now, we've had this conversation. And I'm very much in favor of anybody being able to transfer every year, play every year. And what the reaction I always get is yours. And I ask the same question to everyone. Tell me why.
I just don't like it.
I have sat in this chair now, well, not this exact chair, but done this show now for 14 years. And every time this comes up, there is not a single person that can give me a good reason why not.
I don't know why
I don't like it. Well, you don't get to cheer for your play. None of that matters to you. None of that's a good reason. You're going to cheer for your favorite team no matter who is wearing the uniform.
Oh, agreed.
That's it.
That's fine.
There is not a good reason why you should tell an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old you can't go
25,
where you want to go.
26, 27-year-olds.
Fine.
That's the thing. It's just
fine.
The one time,
Why not two?
I don't.
Tell me why.
I just don't
This
know.
is the problem.
I don't like
you
it.
don't have an answer.
I don't.
You don't like it.
I
you
just
don't like it because you don't like change, because it's always been a certain way and you're accustomed to it.
Maybe.
And you never stop to think, well, what if when you're 18 years old and you choose to go to a certain place based on what you thought was a good situation, you go and you live there and you don't like it.
Then you leave.
Don't like your coach. You don't like your teammates. You don't like the school. You miss home. You leave.
That's right.
And then what if you make another decision? You go, you know what? There's a better opportunity for me now. How is that any different than people leaving their job? A coach, an adult male coach or female coach, leaving a job for a better situation. Well, they're professionals. So what the hell does that have to do with anything?
No,
you're making a life choice. Make the choice that's best for you. What are you learning about consistency and loyalty? I could ask literally every person in any profession ever that's left any job ever.
I guess what I don't.
There's no answer. There is no good answer against it.
What I
or
don't
at least no one's been able to tell me a good answer.
What I don't like about one thing I don't like about it. I don't like it because I just don't like it. That's a thing. Exactly. Which I'm with you. But you know what I don't? It has changed the landscape of the way not top tier high school players are recruited, but like second tier high school players that could develop into a top tier high school player. It's changed that whole landscape pretty dramatically, and I don't like that part of it where kids could have gone to a 4-year school, then they end up having to go to a junior college for a year or two. I don't like that.
Do you want to play college football? That's your path.
It's any
Follow
sport.
your path.
Yeah. I want to give a hug to Keelan Moses. I love Keelan Moses today.
Talked about it last hour.
Did you?
Did.
Okay, I
His
didn't
tweet?
listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead,
bad.
please.
No,
No, do it. Do it. There's a lot of people listening right now that didn't hear it. Do it.
From the day Keelan Moses, from the day Dylan and his mom brought Keelan and his younger brother, I don't know know his name right at the moment, into traction because they wanted to learn how to play baseball, and I swiftly said, no, you go play football. Sport isn't for you. Years and years ago, I've really loved the kid. I just have. Polite, awesome, nice, hard worker, whole deal.
Yeah.
But the tweet was awesome. The way he articulated himself, his passion, his loyalty, his commitment to his city, all the things LSU fans want to see. And I think we're seeing it on the recruiting trail. I think some of these other guys are starting to feel it. Shout out to Keelan. Keep doing your thing, big dog.
If you missed the Twitter, Keelan Moses had a Twitter thread essentially saying he promised Brian Kelly he was going to restore LSU to national championships. He'd be a leader. He'd do anything to bring LSU swagger back. Only the beginning. He's ready to be part of a national championship in a culture in college football where so many fans complain about the perceived culture of college football. Keelan Moses to put that out was pretty awesome. And the reason I brought it up yesterday was earlier today is I saw that yesterday. And I quote tweeted it. And the way that I said it was, for everybody who essentially what you just said. I said, if you don't love the current state of college football, this thread might restore your hope. Because I think there are way more players in college athletics that are like Keelan Moses than the players that are just seeking the best NIL deal. And by the way, if you're a kid who's just seeking the best NIL deal, God bless you. It's probably the opportunity in life you'll have, the best opportunity in life you'll have to make the most amount of money for doing the least amount. So if you can get it and someone's willing to pay you, go get it. Good for you. I do not in any way diminish anybody's opportunity to go make money or do what they want that they feel is best for themselves, their family, their life.
I do have a kick rocks.
All right, let me hear it.
The people that put the little small libraries, the boxes with the pole in their front yard, and they do the exchange the book thing.
What is that?
They can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
The book exchange nerds that put the people that go exchange the books with their hair dyed pink nerds. They can kick rocks too.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Nobody's going to do that. If they would have done that in Broadmoor in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, you know how many M90s and fireworks we'd have set off in those boxes? Or how many paper bag fulls of dog poo I'd have put in those boxes? Like, you're just asking for some kids with a bat to go and whack the hell out of that thing. Like, grow up. The dumb book exchange thing in the front yard is stupid. Kick rocks.
So is that through the library? What is that?
No.
I don't know what that is.
It's just some people with too much time on their hands.
When I drop off Drew at school at St. Lillian, there's one of those. It's you're talking about the clear. It's like almost looks like a mailbox, but it's like a square. It's got a clear front and there's books in there. I was wondering why there were books in that.
Who does that?
I don't know. I don't even know what that. I didn't know what that was. I need someone to explain this to me.
Choose your own adventure books from 1984.
But who puts them in
wants
there?
to read that crap. I don't. Some weirdo.
Do you know?
Yeah, it's like a neighborhood library or whatever they call it.
You can get rid of the music, thank you.
I think the person who starts it puts a few books in there, and then everyone's supposed to go contribute, take what they want. Like Ryan said, it's like a book exchange neighborhood library thing. I don't know.
So stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I bet that didn't happen during
own books.
I bet that didn't happen during COVID. Nobody was touching anybody's books during COVID. Huh.
How do people have time on their hands to do this crap? That's what I want
to know.
To
read a book? Well, a lot of people read books.
Book exchange. Grow up.
It's going in hard on readers today, man.
Seriously.
The letter, kick rocks. When
was the last time you read a book?
The last time I read a book, I would say was probably 2010. I read I read the Harry Potter. I read all the Harry Potter books, all of them. That was about 2010.
I don't read fiction. I read a lot of nonfiction. I shouldn't say a lot. I used to. Mostly my time is spent now working. Even when I have free time, I'm working. But I like nonfiction.
When Ludacris did the Llama Llama Red Pajama remix, I went back and read Llama Llama Red Pajama.
Oh,
and
Luda did a Llama Llama remix?
I wrapped it like Luda
Drew's
did.
got a little Llama Llama toy. It makes Erica cry every time because
Can you find that, Muse?
Because
because it's good.
Because so for those who don't know, it's a children's book, and it's a rhyme where a little llama's going to bed and he's calling for his mama and mama's on the phone and not coming. And it gets increasingly more dramatic as the baby llama is very sad, whereas
Yeah.
And it bothers Erica when Drew loves the toy. He'll play the little, it's the little llama. You push the foot and it recites the deal. And Erica gets so sad because the baby's crying.
What about
she gets so sad?
Yeah, Drew doesn't like it.
Drew loves it. Oh.
Reads a story with who? With his mama. Hey, mama kisses what? Baby hair. Mama llama goes all the way downstairs. Hey, llama.
Okay. When did Luda do that? Why did Luda do that? I have so many questions.
Because he's Luda.
All right.
Looks like he was on a radio interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just when he did it?
Yeah, he's in a radio studio. He's got the book in hand.
And so he just did it live? Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. They're just playing. They're playing a beat, and he's reading the book, but to the beat.
How about Luda? Ruckus103.com. Actually, the day that you and I went to your camp, your hunting camp, we met at Ruckus, and I had Drew with me. We went to Ruckus. Yep. We got shoes from Ruckus.
We got some shoes. I got a couple pairs of Air Max that day.
I got a pair of Air Max.
You got a pair of Air Max.
The Carolina blue and white Air Max. My first pair of Air Max.
I got those too.
Why are you copying me?
I got those. I haven't worn them yet.
Ruckus103.com, RUKUS, Ruckus103.com, Jones Creek in Baton Rouge. They got a Lafayette location as well. You go to Ruckus103.com, shop there online. Oh, I got these too. These are the new Balance ones they got. I got those.
How comfortable are those?
Love them.
I mean,
really good.
So good.
508 white and black. Really, really good. Enjoy them thoroughly. Ruckus103.com. Go see Ronnie Paul and the gang over there. They're awesome. Love going into Ruckus. They treat us so good when we go in there.
Shout out.
I was actually there the day. Ooh, look at these dunks.
Well, tell them why you went back.
Check out those dunks.
You noticed a new shipment being delivered. And you were like, bro, we got to go back.
So I got Erica a pair of shoes for Christmas. I got her some purple and gold SBs from Ruckus. And I took a chance. She's an 8.5. They didn't, or a men's 8.5, women's 10. They didn't have her size. They didn't have the half size. So they said normally people size down a half size. So I got her an 8. It didn't fit. Plus the SB, she didn't like the flat bottom. So I brought them back. Well, when I went back, they were literally unloading the truck of boxes and boxes and boxes of shoes. And I was like, I will come back tomorrow. And so I went back tomorrow. Ruckus103.com, RUKUS, Ruckus103.com. All right, it's after further review. I have got to talk about this Mickey Loomis thing when we come back. If you haven't heard it, Mickey Loomis essentially compared Derek Carr's first year to Drew Brees' first year, and he's getting crushed for it, and rightfully so, and I'm going to crush him next. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Action Industries. Man, I'm so excited to welcome Action Industries to the AFR family. You can get to the website. I'm going to say it slowly. I'm probably going to have to repeat it a couple of times because it's Action, INC.com. So Action Industries, Action, INC.com. When it comes to Action Industries, there's two things. Chemical, petrochemical plants, when they go into one of these plants to work, there's two things that are absolute musts. Safety and quality. You're not getting in the door without a stellar safety record, and you're certainly not going to get rehired if you're not doing great work. For 41 years, Action Industries opened their doors in 1982, literally the year I was born. They're as old as I am, servicing all the plants up and down the river in our state. And their safety record is above the industry standard. It's Action Industries. Check them out online.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokee, $10,000 off new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and all new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs.
We made that it. Bounce with the juvenile, that ain't it. I do the jubilee, oh, we made that it. Shake, baby, shake, baby, shake, 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 baby, shake, baby, shake, shake, shake. Twerk, baby, twerk.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, rolling along. By the way, LSU basketball tips off the SEC season this weekend. They'll play Texas A&M. You fired up about that?
So fired up. I can't wait.
You actually are maybe one of the bigger LSU basketball fans that I know. They do play Saturday night, 7:30 on the SEC Network. The game's in College Station. LSU is I don't see the line yet. Have you seen the line on it yet? I don't see the line. See if we get a line. It's LSU's not going to be favored. A&M's 9-4. Tigers are 8-5 on the season. But an opportunity for LSU to go on the road, see if they can get a win. They finished, I don't want to say finished strong, but they broke that long SEC losing streak at the end of last season. They won their first conference game last year against Arkansas, if you remember, and then went on a horrendous losing streak and managed to win a couple there at the end. They beat Vanderbilt and Georgia near the end of the conference slate. So Tigers just 3 conference wins a year ago. A year 2 under Matt McMahon have set it off and just punt last year. Pretend like last year didn't even happen. There was a reason you gave him a 7-year contract, was because he inherited a team where they had, within 2 weeks he had no scholarship players. Right. Pretend like this is year 1. If you can manage to double your SEC win total from a year ago, if you can get to 6 conference wins this year, I think that would be a pretty dramatic achievement for Matt McMahon. And then next year is when I think you can start to look ahead and go, okay, by next year you'll have you got all the NCAA stuff behind us. You'll have a full, recruiting class behind you. You should be able to get some prospects in here, get your NIL money, get a few players in the portal. Like next year should be the year where we start saying, I need to see in the postseason. That's right. But if you can double your win total this year from a year ago, I think that'd be an achievement. You got a line?
Yeah, DraftKings has it A&M by 11.
11. You go, hey man, look, you go on the road, you manage to go fight hard, and maybe you drop one by single digits. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and sell you on a moral victory, but I'm also trying to be realistic about what this team is and what this team can be. All right, it's after further review. Real quick, tell people about Alpha Customs.
Okay, so Alpha Customs, 2 locations. You got a location on Airline Highway in Prairieville, and then you also have a location in Lafayette. If you want to get a lift, wheels, tires, windows tinted, the truck bed on your truck, spray-in truck liner, the covers on the bed, whatever it is, aftermarket custom stuff you'd like to get done to your vehicle, you can get it done at Alpha Customs. Not just trucks, but any of those aftermarket accessories, get your thing lifted up. I love to do that. I have the Suburban.
You love to get your thing lifted up?
I love to lift my thing up. And so I do it in the Suburban. Did it on the Suburban. And, it looks great. So, it doesn't matter. Go check them out at Alpha Customs and get you hooked up.
Okay. Mickey Loomis every week does his radio appearance. It's, on WWL and Saints Radio Network affiliates, which, candidly, our radio group here, Eagle 98.1, is a Saints Radio Network affiliate. So we air Mickey Loomis's program weekly. And on the program earlier this week, Mickey Loomis was asked about Derek Carr, and one of the questions, he gave a sort of long answer. The first part of it is when he talked about Derek Carr and how there have been successes and some failures as well, sort of up and down moments this year here in 2024. Give a listen.
Overall, Derek's done some really good things this season. If you look at, his rating, his efficiency, there's a lot of really good things that we've done. There's some things that he hasn't done well. Obviously, he had a shoulder injury, early in the season. There's no question that bothered him. We didn't handle pressure very well earlier in the season. And I think, in the last 4 or 5 games in particular, our offensive line and our protection has been better. So there's all these variables, all these elements that contribute to the quarterback play. And we all look at the quarterback and we look at the head coach, and that's where we want to point blame and oftentimes give credit. And yet there's just so much more to it than that.
I'm okay with what he said. You've had good moments. You've had bad moments. Carr had a shoulder injury. Look, the loss earlier this season to Tampa was after the shoulder injury against Green Bay. Didn't practice all week. Saints played maybe their worst game of the year. Maybe their worst game of the year. Now, the Rams was pretty horrendous. But anyway, I'm okay with that. And I'm also okay saying, look, there's a lot of blame to go around. Your offensive line, although Carr has been sacked, the Saints offensive line has allowed the second fewest sacks in the NFL this year. They're better than what I think a lot of the perception has been of them. But I'm okay with saying that. There is blame to go around. Pete Carmichael has been much maligned. I'm okay with what he said. This is the part which you're about to hear that makes me start to call into question Mickey Loomis's ability to continue running this organization and, quite honestly, his legacy with this organization.
This is Derek's first year with us. And if we went back to 2006 and looked at Breeze's first season or two with us, you wouldn't say, wow, that guy's going to the Hall of Fame after season 1 or season 2. So, sometimes it takes a while for us to be familiar with him, for him to have a real grasp of the offense in terms of being reactive instead of thinking and then making a play and getting on the same page with, our staff, our coaches, as well as our players.
I don't know if Mickey Loomis actually believes that or if he feels like he has to publicly continue to vouch for his guy. The first half of that answer I'm perfectly fine with. The second half is patently absurd. To try to with a straight face argue that Derek Carr's year 1 in New Orleans is in any way comparable to Drew Brees' year 1 is not only comical, it's patently absurd. It's a stupid thing to say. I mean, I don't need to spell out the context, but Drew Brees had his shoulder explode at the end of the 2005 season.
He had 9 anchors in his shoulder.
He comes to New Orleans, and even Brees and Peyton, both in their books, have written about this on the record. He didn't throw the ball in training camp. Through the preseason, Drew Brees wasn't even sure that he was going to be ready to play for the regular season, right? And he goes out, and this was, by the way, year 6 for Drew Brees. He had 5 years in San Antonio, and then his first year in New Orleans was year 6. And he throws for 4,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. For what it's worth right now, Derek Carr, through 16 games, right, which is what they played then, 3,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 8 picks. So Brees had thrown for 800 more yards and 5 more touchdowns at this point. In year 6, Derek Carr's with an exploded shoulder,
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And throwing to their best receiver was a 7th-round tight end out of Hofstra, who they converted to receiver in Marcus Colston, who went on to have a Saints Hall of Fame career. But are we really comparing the two? Derek Carr's in year 10. Year 10. This isn't a guy who had lost his job due to, San Diego making a different decision, shoulder injury, coming to New Orleans, a franchise that had won 3 games the year prior and was a vagabond franchise after Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
Carr comes into a situation where you had the longest stretch of success in the history of this organization. You've won a Super Bowl. You've been to the playoffs. You've won divisions. You've got a competent roster. You have a good defense. It makes me sit back and wonder, hey, Mickey, you had the one good draft in 2006, and then you really stunk at the draft after that. When did you get good at drafting again? When you brought in Ireland. When they brought in Ireland, Jeff Ireland, only then did the Saints start drafting well again. Do we give Mickey Loomis any credit for being the architect of the first Super Bowl team, or was it really just the fact that you had a Hall of Fame coach in Sean Payton and one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the league? Does Mickey Loomis, if he honestly believes that you can draw any type of comparison with Derek Carr this year and Drew Brees in 2006, it really makes me legitimately wonder, not only is he fit to be the general manager of this organization now, but does he deserve any credit at all for what they were?
Yeah, look, I think a lot of that's coach talk. I really do.
The first part is fine, though.
The first part's fine. I think the second part is coach talk. I think you commit X amount of dollars to a guy, and you bring him in to help win football games, and he doesn't. He obviously doesn't. And then a lot of that is coach talk. You can't say he didn't have anything to do with that run, but I'll tell you this: GMs are going to defend their guys. They are directly tied to their guys that they give the money to, and they're going to defend them to their last breath, no doubt.
In year 10, Drew Brees, that was 2010. Drew Brees threw for 4,600 yards, 33 touchdowns. He had 22 interceptions. That was the 2010 season, the year after they won the Super Bowl. And he did all of that, by the way, we learned later, with a bum knee. And he made a Pro Bowl that year. He'd won the Super Bowl the year before. He'd already thrown for 5,000 yards in 2008, came just a breath away from Dan Marino's single-season record that year, if you remember. And the next year ended up being the AP Offensive Player of the Year that season in 2008. Next year, they won a Super Bowl. I can't believe that I'm actually sitting here having to point out that the Saints general manager commenting that Derek Carr in year 1 is comparable to Drew Brees' year 1 in New Orleans. How loony that is. I feel silly having to sit here and argue this. Yet here we are. I mean, do you have any confidence that they're going to be able to turn this thing around?
No, not
That's
as,
the problem.
Yeah, no. Not with the current setup. And do you stick with your guy? It sounds like he's gonna. It seems like the coaching staff staying the same. It seems like nothing is going to change.
Man.
So, yeah, I mean, you're going to get the same results.
It feels like Mickey Loomis is just digging in his heels. Mm-hmm. And brother, that is I don't care if it's sports or business or family or anything. That's a dangerous place to be when you're wrong and you can't concede. And so you keep digging that hole deeper and deeper, and you double down and you double down. That's like what people with a gambling problem do. You lose, you're like, I'm going to go get it back. No, I'm not wrong. Give me another hand. Give me another hand. No. It's like in the Breakfast Club. Hey, Richard Condon, here's an 80s pop culture reference for you. You want one more? You want another one? I get another one. Good, fine. He keeps giving him more weekends of detention. How about that, old Dick Condon? Got a 1980s pop culture reference for you there.
A good movie.
Mickey Loomis, man, did not need to hear those comments. It really, really, really has me a little shook about whether or not they're going to be able to dig themselves out of this. And if Gail Benson is pot committed to Mickey Loomis, and Loomis continues to be committed to Allen and Carr the way he is, in all the draft misses they've had in the last half decade, it really makes you wonder, the cap situation's horrendous. They don't draft well. They don't have a good head coach. Their quarterback has been average at best, and their general manager doesn't see any of it. Where is there any hope that this gets better?
Likely losing your most explosive offensive player.
All All right, we got a break. We'll wrap up the hour with Ask Ryan next. Get your questions in. It's AFR.
AFR.
Oh, next Thursday. You know what next Thursday is? The grand opening of the newest Rouse's location.
Oh, where is it?
On Florida Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Excited about it. It's not far from here, as a matter of fact. And we'll be over there throughout the day. They're going to have the ribbon cutting at 8 a.m. Over at the Rouse's on Florida Boulevard.
Is it over by Ponchos?
Yeah, not far. Not far, actually.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, not far. So we were there for the groundbreaking, and this coming up Thursday, January the 11th, 8 a.m., they'll have the ribbon cutting, and they're going to have, you know what, for the first 100 people, there's going to be a mystery gift card. So you're not going to know the amount on your gift card for the first 100 customers.
Oh, that's fun.
That's pretty cool.
That's a lot of fun.
So get on. So make plans to be there. The ribbon cutting at 8 a.m. They'll open their doors again this coming Thursday, January 11th, at the newest Rouse's on Florida Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Going to be a lot of fun. We'll look for you there at Rouse's. This feels like home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Let's get to Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. You can ask Theriot anything about anything here as we roll along. It's AFR, brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Hour number 3 is next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Traction. TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. Hey, I've been telling people that the spring softball and baseball leagues are about to get underway, and actually that registration is open right now. This is the first time that Traction is at a spring softball league, yeah?
Yes, and really excited about the spring softball. Softball's growing, man. Softball's hot right now. Hot.
So, if your daughter plays softball, why play anywhere other than the absolute best? Traction, where champions are made. So go to the website, hit the Louisiana tab. When you scroll down, you'll see right there under the new events and programs, Spring Softball, Spring Baseball League. Tap it right there, and there's the registration form. So registration is open. Don't wait on this because the preseason practice is beginning January 29th.
And it'll fill up, too, by the way.
So, do you know, I don't want to ask you if you don't know, it's 8U to 12U. Do you know how many teams?
I don't, but it will fill up.
8U to 12U. Get in the game. TractionSports.com. Traction, where champions are made. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokee. $10,000 off new Jeep Grand Cherokee. And all new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. With a division title on the line, will Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence be able to play against the Titans? For now, Lawrence could be a game-time decision with a right shoulder sprain. The Jaguars win the AFC South title with a win on Sunday. Dolphins and Bills for the AFC East title Sunday night. Miami coach Mike McDaniel.
This is the only game that matters to this team. It's very important to each and every person in the organization to accomplish a goal that was talked about April 17th, the first day of phase 1, and that's winning the division.
Mike McDaniel, Falcons quarterback Taylor Heineke will be a game-time decision against the Saints on Sunday with a left ankle injury. Alabama running back Roydell Williams goes into the transfer portal. He'll be a grad transfer eligible to play next season. Team USA wins the gold medal at the World Junior Hockey Championships, beating Sweden 6-2. The Americans go 7-0 in the tournament.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right. You can't handle it.
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again. Guess who's back? Back again.
Lisa, I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour, presented by ProCharge EV. Call 225-397-4593 or go to ProChargeEV.com.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
Let me find out that ain't your real. Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, man!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So, and Mr. Toby Tom Play. Nope, not that one. And Theriot. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. I think everybody is kind of waiting, watching, wondering what's going to happen with the LSU defensive coordinator situation. We talked about it earlier today, that LSU kind of really has targeted Blake Baker, who was formerly here as the linebackers coach, went to Missouri as the defensive coordinator, and as I was told last night, and I think 247 Sports was the first report that he was I think the way they said it was the primary target, or it was the main focus of the search.
He's the guy.
And was one of the first names that we'd heard. We talked about it on Wednesday after all the firings. It was interesting. So last night was told that LSU was kind of making their push, and Eli Drinkwitz was talking to Blake Baker, trying to convince him to stay, which I get it. Yeah. And people were kind of asking why would Baker leave a really good situation at Missouri? And it's a good question because, as I understand, the money's going to be comparable. You got great job security in Missouri, right? I mean, you win 11 games in Missouri, and the way he's turned around the defense, they just gave a contract extension.
Oh, yeah, you get a statue.
Yeah, I mean, you win 11 games there, and you build a great defense, and he's an SEC defensive coordinator, and that's great. There were 3 things that I was told. One, and I think remember this from when he was here prior. His wife played soccer at LSU. She's from Mandeville, played soccer at LSU, so he's got family. He's from Houston, so family in the area. That matters. I mean, it's big, right, with coaches.
Sure.
2, you can win a national championship at LSU. You're never going to win a national championship at Missouri. This year, getting to 11 wins, winning the Cotton Bowl, that feels like the glass ceiling for Missouri, right? And then 3, if you come to LSU and you turn around the defense in a hurry, I mean, you're on a fast track to be a head coach.
That's right.
You're going to get all the attention. So there's a lot of reasons why. Well, I'm certain now. You said you saw this on social media.
Yeah.
Some people have tagged me in this on social media. Maybe I don't know. Maybe LSU let a little something slip because for a bit. So Blake Baker's profile page at LSUsports.net. Because remember, you can go look up former coaches. So a lot of time there's profile pages, former players. Their profile pages are still up. Well, apparently Blake Baker's profile from when he was at LSU prior was changed to say, instead of title linebackers coach, it was changed to defensive coordinator. So that's somebody screen grabbed it and put it. It's all over the internet now. They've for what it's worth, they've taken it down. And I have no idea. Again, I want to be so super clear. I have no idea if it's done. I have no idea if they're planning an announcement. I've been on air for the last 2 hours. So when this transpired, I have no idea. I haven't gotten a text or call. I mean, I know that there was a lot of smoke last night and they were trying to get to a decision. You know, the hope was maybe today get some word from Blake whether or not he was going to come or go. I don't know. But and so maybe that was something that was just sort of preemptive, right? In the event that you're putting out a release, all this stuff was maybe being put in place. Yeah, sort of be ready. So I don't know. But it is kind of a big oopsie.
That's the same picture from when he was.
It's the same profile.
Yeah,
like
okay.
you, there's probably, I don't know this for sure, but there's probably, is there a Ryan Theriot LSU Sports.net profile still up?
I hope so, because that's some good hair,
Let's
dude.
go see.
I mean,
Ryan Theriot LSU. There it is. Look, Paulie. Wait, let's do this live. Look, so I just Googled Ryan Theriot. Can you pull up my screen? Yeah. Okay. So look, Ryan. Here's your LSU Sports.net profile. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, there he is! Yeah! Look at my guy.
That's him.
Number 1.
Check him.
Mr. The Riot. There you are. Shortstop, 5'11", 177. Junior out of Baton Rouge.
How about that?
Look how good you look.
Look at
that guy right there.
Look at the lettuce.
See, so the point is, so like,
yeah,
just like,
it's still there.
Your profile is there on the. So Blake Baker's profile from when he was the DC is still there.
Yeah.
Like you can go Google Blake Baker. That's probably what somebody did. They probably Googled Blake Baker LSU. His profile at LSU came up and it said DC, and they screen grabbed. That's probably what happened. So anyway,
do you want him? You want him to be the guy, the defensive coordinator?
What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, I like him. So yeah, I played Topgolf with him one time. So I would. Like
he's a good golfer.
I don't remember. He had some cool shoes on. I know that. So I would like him to do it.
Cooler than my shoes?
No. Your shoes are good.
Oh, look, they've changed it back. Look, here's Blake Baker's profile right now.
It's a linebackers coach.
It says linebackers coach. Yeah, it's back to linebackers coach.
They fixed it.
They fixed it. Yeah. So, but look, this guy's got a ton of ties to the state. You know, he went to Tulane from Houston. Went to Tulane, coached at LSU. His wife went to LSU. Lots of ties. I think, he took over a defense at Missouri that was horrendous. They were triple digits in the country total defense when he took over, and then they went from like triple digits to like the 50s last year to the top 30 this year, like 20. I think they might have finished around 25 or something like that in the country. So he has very rapidly improved Missouri's defense from when he took over.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a little surprising it slipped the way it did. I mean, Barry Odom, who was the head coach, was the DC there under Gary Pinkel. Pinkel, when he retired, they promoted Odom, and Odom was not a good head coach. So, I mean, it's kind of a similar Dennis Allen situation. A really good defensive coordinator, not a great head coach. And now, I mean, I think Odom's I think he went to Arkansas as the DC. I think he's the head coach again now is he the UNLV head coach? I think he's the UNLV head coach. But it was just a little surprised that it slipped the way it did defensively. Because oddly, man, when you look at Missouri, since just in the time they've been in the SEC, think about all the defensive talent they've had. It's weird. But Michael Sam was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Alden Smith, Marcus Golden. I mean, they've had some like legit NFL edge guys and defensive guys that have gone into the NFL and been great players. So they've had good talent there. But yes. Anyway, I'm a long way of saying if LSU hires Blake Baker, I'm great with that. I think. Yes, you got to nail the defensive coordinator hire, but I really think an even bigger right now is you've just got to get recruiting back to a level to where your talent on defense looks like it did when you were winning championships.
Okay, so who does that? I mean, is that like you have other coaching positions need to be filled, right? I mean, is it a Corey Raymond back in the mix? I
think that's a huge part of why they're pushing to bring Corey back.
Yeah,
of course.
And I think the biggest disappointment, and everybody probably agree with this from the defensive standpoint last year, was the lack of production from the defensive line. I mean, you didn't have a whole lot of stability there, right? And so to get somebody that can like recruit that, I didn't realize this after talking to a few of the guys last year that are on staff, how involved those position coaches are, all of them. You know, it's not like you just got like a recruiting coordinator. Like it is a 24/7, 365. You are so when those jobs are vacated like that, or you have somebody that's not really holding up their end of the bargain, I mean, it hurts.
Your 10 permanent on-field coaches, yes, obviously they've got to coach their position and coach their players. But those are also the guys that can go off campus and recruit. Like they can go and recruit homes. They can go to, you know what I mean? And you have recruiting staff that can host events and do stuff here and organize your board, you know, et cetera. But you can always build a staff of analysts. I mean, look at what Nick Saban does. I mean, Nick Saban has like NFL head coaches on his support staff as analysts and stuff. You can build it out that way to where you have enough football guys exit to X and O everything for you to help you game plan and scheme. But you got to have recruiting down, man. And that's listen. LSU was not an elite, did not have elite defensive talent this year. Nobody's going to argue that they did. The talent was down. Right. That's inarguable. But the lack of coaching and development is why you were historically bad. You know, if you had a competent scheme and coaches that had maximized the talent you did have, you could have been a middle of the pack defense. And with this offense, that would have been plenty good enough. It would have been plenty good enough to beat Ole Miss when you score, 49 points and put up 600 yards. Who knows what would have happened against Bama, but Florida State certainly is another game that when you look back to it, I mean, that was a game where you had two possessions inside the 10 at the start of the game, came away with no points. Mm-hmm. You had opportunities. It was still you were leading at half. It was a one-score game going into the fourth quarter, and you had the ball. You missed a walk-in touchdown by Brian Thomas. It was a little underthrown, but he dropped. And then Malik fell down on the first play of the fourth quarter, and that ball was intercepted. And that kind of ended it. But point is, you had opportunities. Yeah. You would have had opportunities if your defense was just competent. So I think that's where they got to get. So long way. I know you asked, am I okay with it if it's Blake Baker? Yeah, I'm okay with it if it's Blake Baker. I think it's pretty clear to everybody now that a change needed to be made. I don't know how you could have justified retaining Matt House. They were close to doing it, man.
Oh, yeah, it seemed like they were.
All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. We are going to get to a Saints-Falcons prediction here at the bottom of the hour. Mel Kiper's got his latest big board out that says about a couple of LSU Tigers in the draft and some guys who you might expect skyrocketing up draft boards, which is fantastic to see. We'll get to that as we continue here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James. Brokered by LPT Realty.
LPT Realty is the fastest growing real estate company ever. In 1 year, LPT Realty has gone from one agent to 6,000 agents. Darren James, proud to now be on the LPT Realty team, and that team is growing every day. Darren James and LPT Realty, they welcome Jennifer Daniel to the team. Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. What's the LPT difference? It's marketing, it's communication, and it's the way they handle distributions to their realtor. So if you're a realtor or want to be, and you want to put more money in your pocket for you and your family, you need to hear about what's going on at LPT. So call Darren James, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Sitting by the bayou. My hot girl to you, hot girl. I got a hot boy that is fire. Talking about a hot boy.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Remember, you can always text the show, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Will Summers texted and said, hey, Matt, can we get an update on Carr's stats with the bet between you and Ocho Cinco? We did this yesterday, actually, Will, but for those that don't remember, Chad Johnson, yes, the Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, and I have a bet from the preseason. This is completely a legitimate thing. He and I went back and forth about it on Twitter. He made predictions for Derek Carr. I kind of poked fun at his predictions, and he said, let's make a bet. So the bet is if Derek Carr doesn't reach the stats that Ocho Cinco projected, then Ocho has to come to Baton Rouge and co-host this show with me for a day.
Oh, wow.
Do you not remember this?
I don't remember this at all.
No, this was a thing. Like, we did this on Twitter. I've got it screen grabbed, so
Do
he
you
couldn't
know?
delete it.
I mean,
and all
you
this
know
stuff.
Ocho
Never
Cinco?
met him. No, I've never met him. But he seems great, man. He interacts with people on Twitter, and so the way it all started is the NFL Twitter account put out a graphic of Derek Carr and was like asking people for their season predictions on numbers, yards, interceptions, all that stuff. And Ocho replied 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 4,700 yards. And so I talked about it on the show and was like, if we get to make outrageous predictions or whatever, then I'm going to be a Head and Shoulders model or something like that. Well, we made it into a short. I think maybe Cassie did it and tagged Ocho Cinco in the tweet. Well, he saw it and then replied to it.
Oh, okay.
And so then he and I started going back and forth, and so it was friendly. And so we made a bet. So anyway,
he suggested the bet?
Yes.
Oh, you're in good shape.
He said,
yeah.
Let's make a wager. Just tell me what you want to do. I'm like, all right. Let me ask the audience. We'll come up with something good. We'll circle back on Monday. So we did it live on air, came up with ideas. I tweeted him back on Monday and said, here's what we came up with. And he said, bet, LFG. Let's go. And so we've been following it every week. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know this.
I had no clue.
Golly. Okay, so anyway.
I love it,
So
though.
here's the bottom line. Derek Carr is currently at 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and 3,614 yards. So on Sunday against Atlanta, Derek Carr needs to throw for 17 touchdowns, 1,086 yards, and needs to go for -2 interceptions. And if he does that on Sunday, I mean, I think that would, Muse, can you check? I think that would be a career day for Carr if he throws for 17 touchdowns and 1,086 yards against Atlanta.
Yeah, and probably a few NFL records in there too.
Yeah, probably so.
If he won, what did you have to do?
I was going to do my show from Don Juan and have it completely sponsored by He has a cigar brand. He's a big cigar guy. It's called like 85 or 85 cigars is his jersey number. And I was like, I'll buy a bunch of boxes of your cigars. I'll give them out to listeners. Basically do a full day just promoting your cigars.
Yeah, cool.
And he's like, bet. Which, by the way, if he makes good and comes in and does the show, I'll do that anyway.
That's right.
I'll buy some cigars and ask everybody to come out to Don Juan. I'll pass them out, and I'll do right by him if he's going to come. But he sounds like an honorable guy.
I wonder if there's any mutual like connections there. I wonder if he and RC are friends.
They are. He's been on the pivot several times. So if I need to, I said if I need to, I can go to RC to jab him in the side.
I'd be like, hey man, he's a good guy.
But anyway, have you ever lost a bet? You want a car? Tell me the car bet story for those that don't remember this. Was that Derek Lee?
Yeah.
Tell that story.
Yeah, that was so this was probably, I would say, the peak of my career, 07, 08, 09. But in spring training, we were all just kind of messing around and running doing our conditioning or whatever, and not really racing, but kind of. And there was a wager going around that nobody could beat Derek Lee in a race. I said I would smoke him in a race, and he's my locker mate and good friend of mine. So we kind of laughed it off. No chance you can beat me type thing. And then Cliff Floyd chimes in, which made it even better. And Cliff was kind of like stirring the pot, that I would have no chance. And I said, of course I would blow his doors off. I'll bet you.
How far did you have to run?
It was like a 60. It's like, I'll bet you, your Bentley. He had one of the big 4-door Bentleys that was really nice. I'll bet you your Bentley I can beat you in a 60. And I had a nice BMW, but it was like the big one, the 760 or whatever.
750.
But it wasn't
750 Li.
That's what it was. But it wasn't the Bentley.
Too. Yeah.
And he was like, okay, let's do it.
The 750 Li is a $125,000 car.
I mean, this wasn't a little punk car. And but it wasn't the Bentley. And I smoked him. I mean, smoked him.
Smoked him, huh?
Oh, yeah.
How did you smoke Derek Lee?
So he flips me the keys, and I couldn't take it, though. I took it for a day.
I'm so mad at you.
Came back, and no, he was, look, I mean, he's great. One of my favorite teammates that I've ever had in my life.
I'm so mad at you.
Was Derek Lee. Wonderful guy. Wonderful human being, no doubt.
Like, I'm really mad at you. So wait, you took it for a day and gave it back?
Yeah, I was no way I was going to do that.
Why not?
No, man. I felt terrible.
You see, this is the problem with people that bet. Yeah. If you bet and you lose, you better be willing to pay up. It's why if I ever see Dwayne from Thibodeau, I'm going to close fist punch him in the face. That man owes me $500. Do I need $500? I do not need $500. But that man came on this show, called in every Friday during that 2018 season, made that bet with me. Everybody knowing the thing that pisses me off the most is, if I had lost, there is no way in HE double hockey sticks I get away without paying that man $500, right? I would have that night driven to Thibodeau, found him on a street corner somewhere, and put $500 in that man's hands. I would have done it. But he has run like a chicken bleep, like the chicken bleep he is, and owes me $500.
He was so good too. Man.
I don't care.
I wish he would have paid because he was comedy.
He's a freaking loser, is what he is. That tells you the honor and the integrity of a man, and he has none. Bleep that guy forever. Never even want to hear his name mentioned on this show again.
Nope.
And I'm going to tell you what, there's another one coming here, Mr. Theriot.
Ocho Cinco?
Ocho Cinco and Larry Holder.
Oh.
Larry Holder.
Whoa.
By the way.
Whoa, what we got with Larry?
Hit it, Muse. When was it? Wait, stop it. When was this? When was this, Muse? What year?
This would have been
2021.
Yeah, 2020. No, it was 2020 because it was leading into the 2021 draft.
So this was during the 2020 college football season.
Yes.
All right, hit it. $50 bourbon done.
But how long does this bet last? Like 10 years?
Look. What are your parameters?
You said ever, so what do you want me to tell you?
Like, would he ever start a game? I mean, who the hell's the kid Rippin from Boise State's going to be starting a game on Thursday night? I mean, I guess pigs could fly and eventually Trask could start a game somewhere. I mean, we've seen Dan Orlovsky started games in this league. Could he start a game somewhere along the way? Okay, but he's never going to be a consistent starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't see it.
Let's go 3 years if he's not a consistent starter at OU.
So that was Larry and me betting 3 years ago that if Kyle Trask wasn't a consistent starter in the NFL by year 3, he'd lose the bet. Well, I got news for you, Coach. That was by year 3. On Sunday, year 3 ends, and Baker Mayfield, despite his banged-up ribs, is expected to start and play Sunday for Tampa Bay, which means in 3 years, not only has Kyle Trask not become a consistent starter, he ain't started one single game. Kyle Trask, as I said 3 years ago, and Larry Holder lost a bet to me, and he better pay up or he gonna be dead to me.
Put him on the list.
Sick all these people, man.
Just pay up.
You make a bet, you pay up.
Pay up.
I shouldn't even be mad at. I'm a little mad at Larry because the bet was consistent starter by year 3. At the beginning of the season, he should have paid up. Now we're at the end of this season. He better pay up. I'll call him out.
Oh, yeah.
I'll wreck his career. What's left of it.
That's right.
Larry. Anyway. It's after further review. Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. I didn't need LASIK to be able to see how bad Kyle Trask was. But you know what? Because I had LASIK at Dr. Blake Williamson, I could see it in perfect 20/20 vision. Call 924-2020. 924-2020 or go to williamsoneye.com. Have you gone yet?
No.
It's time, bro.
I need to go.
Have you gotten your readers yet?
I have readers. I do.
I don't like it, man.
I need to go. I'm a little nervous about doing it, though. Like
About
the
what?
actual procedure.
No. Dr. Blake is awesome, man. He does what he refers to as vocal local. Like the way he talks to you is almost it's almost like an anesthesia. It's like it's incredible. I mean, he did LASIK on me and I had no medicine whatsoever at all. Zero.
Okay, what if I'm getting it done and I look to my left real fast?
I don't think you can.
Oh.
Like, because the way when I did LASIK, and that's been almost 6 years now, but like they put these cups in it keeps your eye open. It doesn't allow you to close your eye.
Oh, I'm not saying close it.
You're saying look.
I'm saying just go.
I think the machine would shut off. Like if your eye moves, I think the machine shuts off.
That
Like
makes me
there's
feel
protection.
better.
Like it's.
Do you have to wear sunglasses for a couple days?
When I had my LASIK, I did mostly because of in here. Because there's studio lights. So it was very, very bright. It was sensitive for a few days. Paulie, did you have to wear glasses for a few days?
I wore them for like a day.
For a day? I'm telling you, man, it's not.
You like wearing the eye patch, like an eye patch, like a pirate? Did you do that or no?
Didn't wear a patch, no.
You don't have to wear a patch?
Nah, you don't have to wear a patch.
You mean you can see?
How's yours going?
I'm good. I see clearly. Huh. I see clearly now.
Look at Paulie singing.
He's got a great
voice. Look at
voice.
my guy coming out of
Sounds
the
like an
shell
angel.
over there. A little Jimmy Cliff.
Beautiful.
It's a mix between Fergie and Jesus. That's what he is. Paul O'Neill. Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, williamsoneye.com. All right, we'll get to our Saints-Falcons prediction for the game on Sunday coming up in just a bit. Mel Kiper's latest big board is out. Where would you rank Jaden Daniels among the quarterbacks in this draft?
I think he is the third best, probably.
Who would you take ahead of him?
I would take Caleb Williams.
Why?
Ahead of him? I think he's got a better arm. I think he's a more dynamic passer. And you know what scares me, and I love Jaden. Jaden's awesome. He's gotten so much better. But what scares me is the dudes that are running after you in the NFL are all really fast and they're really big. Not to say that the SEC, you know, or the competition he's playing has guys that are slow.
Okay, so guys. Caleb Williams. Who else?
What's the kid from North Carolina?
See, I feel like you would just take Drake May because you've heard everybody say Drake May.
I've watched him sling it, man. I just think that level.
Jaden Daniels is the best deep ball passer in college football this year. That is inarguable.
Okay.
Statistically, the best deep ball passer in the country this year.
And I think Brian Thomas is going to be a all-pro wide receiver. I believe that. And I think Malik Neighbors is probably going to be the same. I think Brian Thomas is going to have a better NFL career than Malik Neighbors will. I believe that. I think he had two guys on the outside that were just really, really dynamic. Also, I'm not taking anything away from him. I think he's great. I think he's the third best.
I feel like sometimes the tape doesn't lie. we program our brains to think a certain way because we've been pumped a message for so long. We've been told
Maybe.
Caleb Williams, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Drake May. And then Jaden goes and has the season. I'll remind you, going into 2019, Joe Burrow was a fringe day 3 pick going into 2019. Go look at the 2019 preseason, way too early mock drafts. Joe Burrow went nowhere near first round. He was a fringe draftable prospect and went all the way to being the number 1 player in the draft because he improved that dramatically. And I think Jaden's in that same mix. I love his makeup. I love his character.
Oh, yeah.
And when you combine that with the running ability and the accuracy on the deep ball, and what he showed this year, his willingness to get in the film room and become a student of the game, that's really where he dramatically improved, and why he dramatically improved. I would take Jaden Daniels above any other quarterback in this draft class. And the only other one I'd consider is Michael Penix. Michael Penix can spin it, but Jaden can move, and I see Lamar Jackson. I see a guy that isn't just a runner, a guy that's a dynamic quarterback who has dynamic running ability, which Caleb Williams and Drake May do not have.
No, and Michael Penix, I would have him up there for sure, but his injury history scares me.
That's fair. That's fair. He had season-ending injuries every year at Indiana. That's fair. And you're also talking about a guy in his 6th year.
Yeah, he's a heck of a quarterback, and he's showing it right now.
It's similar to Hendon Hooker. But then again, like last year, I loved Hendon Hooker.
Mm-hmm.
But Hendon Hooker tore his ACL, and it cost him, and he went late to the Lions, and Jared Goff's having a great season, and I don't know what that means for Hooker in the future. But that is another thing, too, when you're talking about a guy that's been in school for 6 years, you're talking about a guy that's maybe in the NFL at 25 years old as a rookie. Like, it's a dramatic difference when you're talking about coming off your rookie deal at 30. If you're a first rounder, you know what I mean? That's the challenge with an older prospect. But just,
I've seen him at 2.
Quarterback.
I've seen him at 2 on a lot of the mock drafts. I mean, I wouldn't. It would shock me if he went above Caleb Williams.
I would agree with that. It would surprise me too.
It would shock me.
But I think so much of that is people just programmed.
Yeah, but I think he at 2 wouldn't surprise me. I think, but yeah.
Kuiper has Neighbors number 6 overall in the entire draft.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Thomas at number 17. Thomas was previously not in the top 25. He's got him at 17 right now on his big board. So the other one I'll watch, I want to keep an eye on, is Mekhi Wingo. I know Mekhi declared for the draft earlier this week, but I also know LSU is pushing to try to keep him, especially in light of the staff changes.
Really?
So, I have to be very clear, I have no idea. His mind may be made up. He's gone. But I know LSU is making a push. Get him NIL money and try to convince him to stay and run it back one more season. So hard to do that without knowing who your position coach is going to be because they don't have a defensive line coach right now. But that would be fascinating if they could. But he's got Mekhi Wingo as Kuiper has Mekhi Wingo as the 7th best defensive tackle in this year's draft. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Theriot and I give you our Saints-Falcons predictions for Sunday. We'll wrap up with Ask Ryan in about 15 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, complete employer solutions. Glow Resources and glowresources.com. GLO, glowresources.com. I got an email from a listener of AFR who lives in Houston. Business owner in Houston, listens, heard me talking about Glow, call Glow Resources. If you're a business owner, remember, Glow Resources isn't a temp staffing agency. They work for you, the business owner, to get you the best employees, the best candidates, and their retention is probably the thing that sets them apart. Glow has thousands of employees with a 93% retention rate. Think about that. If you've gone through the hiring circus, especially since COVID, what if there was a company that offered you a 93% retention rate of the employees that they place in your jobs? It's Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier. My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never.
Real slow, what the fellas be yelling?
Morale.
Talk to me now. Cruising down the street. Real slow, what the fellas be yelling? Morale.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, rolling along here, hour number 3, the Riot Radio Hours. We will get to Ask Ryan less than 10 minutes from right now, so get your questions in for Theriot to wrap up. Saints-Falcons, Week 18 in the Dome, the Hoodats and the Dirty Birds. Saints, the last time they played Atlanta earlier this year, it was Desmond Ridder, and it was arguably the worst game the Saints played. 5 red zone trips. They came away with no touchdowns in those 5 red zone trips, despite putting up over 400 yards of offense. The Saints lost to Atlanta. It's one of those games that you look back this year. If the Saints season does end on Sunday, as I assume it will, because the Saints not only need to win, but they need a lot of help. The game against Atlanta is one that you'll circle and say that's one that got away and why they're not a playoff team. The game in Week 3 at Green Bay where the Saints led 17-0 in the fourth quarter and blew that game, losing 18-17. Another game that you'll circle and say that's one that got away that you had no business losing. This is a team that should be a playoff team playing in this awful division, the easiest schedule that the Saints have had arguably in their entire history. But to get into the playoffs, they'll have to beat Atlanta at home and get some help, either Carolina beating Atlanta, or you'll need Seattle and Green Bay to lose on Sunday with a Saints win to get a wild card. The probability of that happening, all of those things happening, is not very good, but it's the NFL and weird things happen. Saints and Falcons. The Saints are a field goal favorite at home against the Falcons. Taylor Heineke is questionable, so it might be Desmond Ridder, who's been benched twice already this year, but it might be Heineke starting for Arthur Smith and the Atlanta Falcons in the Dome against Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr did meet with the media on Friday, said he challenged the team going into Week 18 and explained why.
Everybody wants to win, and everybody is willing to work to win. But there's a certain level of commitment that it takes to really win at a high level in our league. And I just think we had to put a little bit more into it, a little bit more into the preparation, a little bit more focus into it. And because if you want to be a playoff team or a championship caliber team, it takes a little bit extra. And I just challenged our guys to give that little bit extra.
So I said Derek Carr. My apologies. Dennis Allen, obviously, is who that was. All right, Mr. The Riot. Saints are 8-8. Falcons are 7-9. Do the Saints get above 500, or do the Falcons? Look, Falcons, by the way, with a win and the same scenario we just described, could also make the playoffs. So a lot on the line for Atlanta.
I think that speech, or whatever it was, I'm sure it was a little more colorful than he led on to be. Should have happened a long time ago. Like at this point in the season, if a coach, a player, a team leader, whatever it is having to stand up in front of the team and make a challenge to give effort and to play hard and to finish strong, I think that ship's already sailed. I mean, I've been on a number of teams that were kind of looking down the barrel at the end of the season, and it's kind of win or go home type scenarios, and those aren't the discussions that are had. It's the let's finish the race. Let's go. Let's just continue to do what we've been doing, not do anything extra. You get in certain circumstances as a team for many different reasons, whether it be injuries or whatnot. But effort and challenging them to go finish it and play hard and that to me is a red flag, and it's not what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. I agree. Who are you picking?
I think the Saints are going to win.
Okay. There's so many reasons to think New Orleans won't win this game. You already lost to Atlanta once this year. You lost to Desmond Ridder. You have been inconsistent all season long. Twice, you have won back-to-back games. You did it weeks 1 and 2 against the Titans and the Panthers. Then you did it when you beat the Colts on the road, then at home against the Bears. It's been tough for this team to find consistency, right? And I forgive, they also did it with the Panthers and the Giants. They won back-to-back games. It's the hallmark of a bad team is inconsistency, right? You win one, you lose one. You win two, you lose one. You lose two, you win one. The Saints have gone win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. When you're bad, you're a yo-yo. You're up and you're down. And the Saints are bad. It's why you can go play the worst game of the season against the Rams and get smothered on Thursday Night Football, and then you can go a week later on the road to Tampa, who's at home playing with a chance to win the division, and you throttle them. You put them in a 3-hour chokehold. That's your bad team. At your best, you're very capable, but we've very seldom seen this team at their best all year. I'm also curious to see what it's going to be like in the Dome on Sunday because, man, the last few home games, it's been kind of toxic. There were tons of Lions fans there when the Saints played the Lions and lost at home. You had boos against the Panthers and the Giants. Like, sometimes it's, like, you'll know this. Like, when you're on a bad team, sometimes it's good to get away, right? Yep. Like, you get sort of like a camaraderie thing. The team, it's like just us against the world type mentality. Where it can be, it can be kind of toxic at home.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, that's a real thing.
So you come home, you're playing the Falcons. We'll see what the environment is. But I said this earlier, and I'm really not joking. I know Kamara's a game time decision. I know we don't know if it's going to be Heineke or Ritter. Heineke's questionable, so Ritter may start. There's a lot of things up in the air, but I am really looking at Drew Dahlman being out. I'm not joking about this. Drew Dahlman's the starting center for the Falcons. And y'all know I sports bet, and one of the angles that I've believed in for a long time, as I've seen it manifest, is something Mike Detillier told us here for a decade, which was teams that lose their starting center fail to cover 80% of the time the week they lose their starting center. And Drew Dahlman of the Atlanta Falcons got injured, and he's out this week. So I'm looking at that, and I'm going, I'm going to play that angle. And so if Drew Dahlman, and he is out, Drew Dahlman's not going to play, so the Falcons lose their starting center, I'm picking the Saints to win and to cover. So it's a 3-point line. I'm picking the Saints 26-13. I think the Saints win. They win easily, and they scoreboard watch, and we hope we get some help from Carolina. If Carolina ends up beating Tampa and the Saints beat Atlanta, the Saints are in the playoffs, and you're hosting a playoff game as a division champion next week, which I would love to see. I mean, you're winning or losing this game isn't going to materially matter for your where you draft. Now, if you win, get help, and you win the division to make the playoffs, now that will matter where you pick in round 1. But at this point, do we really think what's going to change the Saints organization is if you pick 13th or 20th?
No. If it was top 5 pick, I would argue maybe. But no.
Yeah, absolutely. But that ship has sailed, man. That ship you're talking about being in a spot where you might actually have an opportunity to pick your franchise quarterback in the top 10, top 5. Like, that ship has sailed. That's not a reality for this team. So why not go make the playoffs? Go beat your rival, beat the Falcons, finish above 500, hope you get some help, win the division, and go to the playoffs. Like, that's what I would love to see. So that's what I'll be pulling for this weekend. I think the Saints do it not because of the quarterback, not because of Dennis Allen.
Because of your Man of God headband.
Not because of the Man of God headband. Shout out to Mario Davis, who's still awesome, and I love my Man of God headband. Don't you speak ill of it. Sitting on my desk in my house right now. I'll be wearing it on Sunday.
You'll be wearing it.
You know I'll be wearing it on Sunday.
Yelling at the TV.
I don't send you many pictures of it on Sunday anymore. I used to send you these like really intense face photos on Sunday with my Man of God headband on. It has been hard to get emotionally involved in this team.
I know. You love the Saints.
I do. But I think they win on Sunday.
Here we go.
Because Drew Dahlman's out. What did I say? 26-13. Saints, 26-13. Win and cover. We're brought to you by Relief Windows. Shout out Brandon Holly and Relief Windows.
He's listening, by the way.
I know. He texted me. Yeah. He loved your letter earlier.
He liked it.
Did he text you that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He loved it.
I love him.
I love him, too.
I love his windows.
I love the windows, too, there. Also, yes. Mm-hmm. You love it because your kids have, like, fired remote controls through Windows, and they replace them for free because that's what they do. Lifetime warranty.
Lifetime warranty.
Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. Nobody does it better. Better quality products. Nobody that has better service than Relief Windows. Check them out online at ReliefWindows.com. They have shutters as well. Need shutters for those custom windows?
Relief Shutters.
Custom windows, custom shutters. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door siding. Relief Windows, ReliefWindows.com. Okay, last thing, but one thing left to do.
Ask Ryan.
Ask Ryan. You can ask Mr. The Riot anything about anything. Maybe we can text the Otter and see if he's got any plays for us. Jimmy's been a fuego.
He's been hot.
6-1 in college basketball this week.
Oh, man.
I mean.
Hey, the man.
You doling out winners like that?
Oh, yeah.
And you're paying for kids' college.
That's right.
You kidding me?
You are.
It's like you on airplane trips, doing poker games.
Those were the days.
Sitting on giant stacks of cash.
Win a Camry in an hour-and-a-half flight.
Stacks on deck. Patron on ice. You can pop bottles all night. You can do whatever you like. What? Oh, gosh. Les Miles released a statement today.
How's Les doing?
But he released a statement about the Sharon Lewis thing. There was a ruling today. I'll tell you about that quickly when we wrap up. We'll do Ask Ryan next. Stay here.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Someone might have called me earlier today and asked me about Clegg's Nursery.
I need to get some hollies.
Who do you think that was that called me earlier today asking me about Clegg's Nursery?
I need to get some dwarf hollies.
It was this guy over here.
Mm-hmm.
That's an honest to goodness true story, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Mr. The Riot called me, asked me about Clegg's earlier. What you got going on at the homestead?
A little landscaping, big actually.
Yeah, not a little.
Yeah,
not a little.
At the new crib. So
yeah,
So I got to buy a lot of plants.
Okay, I know a guy over there. Might be able to help you out.
Check him out.
I know a guy. Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area: Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. You know where they are.
Mm-hmm.
4 great locations, full greenhouses, plants and flowers and trees and shrubs that are all grown here in Louisiana, so they're acclimated to South Louisiana, which means they'll live and thrive longer. It's Clegg's Nursery. Get on by this weekend, just plant something. Go see our friends today at Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Les Miles issued a statement a bit ago. You know, the Sharon Lewis case wrapped up here in the past few weeks, and it was a victory for LSU, and Les Miles released a statement. It's very short. I'll read it to you. Many of my fondest memories are from my time at LSU. Every day as a Tiger was an honor. I led a group of young men who shared my passion for football and people. We pursued excellence through integrity. Our program was and is special. I am proud of how I led the LSU football program. I championed each player, coach, and support staff member as an integral part of our team. I respected, valued, and advocated for our team. The fiction novel Sharon Lewis offered as an attempt at corrupt financial gain ended today. I was awarded $200,000 against Lewis and her attorney, Larry English. The ruling provides clarity about Lewis's persistent misrepresentation of the man I am. Justice is victory for all of us, a powerful reminder that truth vindicates. Sincerely, Les Miles. And he inscribes, Go Tigers.
That's right, Les.
What's that?
Attaboy.
Well, first of all, Sharon Lewis asking for, what was it, $50 million was patently absurd. And she filed racketeering charges. She was basically trying to say that LSU was organized crime. Like, I'm not saying that LSU has been perfectly run, and their Lord knows that, you know, everyone has skeletons in their closets. But if you're going to come out with a racketeering charges, like, that's not gaudy. What are we talking about here, man? Anyway. All right, we'll get to Ask Ryan here. Tomorrow, big day for LSU football. Bryce Underwood, number one player in the country for 2025, quarterback out of Michigan, set to make his announcement. Many expecting it'll be LSU.
That's big.
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 Big. Kirk Taylor asked Ryan, can we watch an LSU baseball game together?
Probably not.
How about this? Love a Hudco hat party.
We need to have a baseball hat party, a Hudco hat party.
Hudco hat party, we'll do it.
Okay.
Kevin asked Ryan, do you know if they moved the bullpen off the field at the box?
I don't know. I hadn't been out there. I know they were talking about it, though.
I was told that got pushed another year.
Okay.
So next year is, I think, when it'll happen. Kyle asked Ryan, you're sitting in the deer stand late morning, have seen a little rut action, but there's currently a lull. Do you hit the rattling horns? Doe, bleat, grunt, snort, wheeze, all the above?
I like to grunt. It's funny. There was some grunting going on last week in the woods. I got in a little back and forth with a buck. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm a very I get bored, so I'll do all the above. Yes.
Ask Ryan if his wrist is turning green yet.
It's not, because it doesn't fit.
Carla asked Ryan, what's your favorite dish of venison minus sauce pecan?
Just fried backstrap. Pretty easy.
Oh, man. Greg Lehman asked Ryan, man, literacy is overrated. Am I right?
Yeah, he's exactly right.
Attaboy, Greg. The walk-off.
He came back.
All right. Muse, Paulie, appreciate you, Mr. The Right. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Y'all have an awesome night, awesome weekend. See you Monday at 3. When we get on down the road, we'll remind you about First South Farm Credit. If you want to buy land, your first call should be First South Farm Credit. You know about this.
I want to buy land.
First South Farm Credit should be your first call.
Okay.
Ben, Tim, the gang over there, awesome people. More than 100 years. More than 100 years. 44 branches all over Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas. First South Farm Credit. Something that a lot of people sometimes maybe don't know as well is, let's say you want to buy hunting property in Mississippi. So you think, I have to go to a lender in Mississippi. No. You can use First South Farm Credit. Even, there's some, like, they have an office down the bayou. You can go to First South Farm Credit there. They can help you buy land literally in any state, from 10 acres to 1,000 acres. Go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. That's who Ben McDonald uses and endorses as well. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokee, $10,000 off new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and all new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.